Alrighty, we are back in the Sunless Sea. Now, the last time we were here, we had finally helped the Empire of Hands finish off their Zeppelin, though we didn't actually witness it going to set off to the eastern, or I suppose off the eastern side of the map, to the lands that lie beyond. We've actually been there. We do know that there are trees and what looks like mountains according to the art. So there is something over there, but for some reason we returned and I can't quite recall as to why. We still haven't figured out how the Carnelian exile fits into the state of things. We don't really know how to progress her quest. She wants us to, let's see, mastered the map, entered the House of Every Power, and bring a Burning Truth, which I assume is a Searing Enigma here for a burning name. But I have no idea what any of those mean. So, we're probably going to see if we can figure that out. We're also going to try to figure out the Merciless Modistes stuff. Ultimately, if we can't properly figure it out, I think we might end this captain without progressing their storylines, because I am at a loss of what else to do. There's kind of not much left to explore. I'm sure there are a few secrets and things to undertake, maybe some battles here and there. We might take on the Irrepressible. That is the Merciless Modistes' former ship, I believe, if we talk to her about her time with the set. Yeah, here it is. The Irrepressible was formerly her ship of choice, or I guess her submarine of choice. But we know that that exists over by the Chelinet. We've seen that, I think, underwater near the Chelinet. So maybe if we fight that, that'll give us an opportunity for the Merciless Modiste quest to forward. If not, that is completely me out of options. That is me out of direction for her quest. Beyond that, we have determined that there are a few places that we have yet to visit. Specifically, abysses. We have not visited any abysses, and we finally, amazingly, passed by one just last time, which, considering how many of them there are on the map, how many there seem to be, I'm kind of amazed we didn't pass them beforehand, but apparently we just hadn't, and so we will probably go and venture in an abyss. Hopefully, that will not kill our captain. We do have plenty of heirlooms. We have a will, we have a scion. But I'm hoping this won't kill a captain. I would really like to get to Aestival, since I am just about there for the quests. Regarding that, we have a quest from the Commodore here. Vital intelligence, 7 crew, 50 supplies, a figurehead of the Eater of Names, and a dread surmise. All of which we have, save for that 50 supplies and that dread surmise. And that's all we need to bring to the Grand Geode, so that we can establish our kingdom on Aestival. Now, assuming all these abysses are the same, or maybe they lead to another map. Maybe there's a map below the Sunless Sea. I'm not quite sure. Maybe they're all different locations. Maybe these are effectively other ports. Not quite sure. We'll go and examine some of those during today's stream. Before we do that, though, we will want to make our way to the Empire of Hands and go and see their Zeppelin send-off, since we haven't actually observed that yet. I assume that that is something we will be able to observe. We did get to go to the naming ceremony, and even though we tried to choose a name for the Zeppelin ourselves, the exquisite seneschal kind of just converted that into her desired naming will. So we kind of got robbed there, but we will go and see if there's any send-off ceremony that we can go watch. Watch the apes over there fly off of the eastern side of the map. Beyond that, really not much to do. Not a whole lot left. We've kind of explored most every location, most every option available. Port Cecil, we finished with the principals. Mutton Island, we've seen all the way to its conclusion of not eating people this time, since we sided with the Grand Geode. Humane Canal is just a transport upwards, and the surface we have also done pretty much everything in. We went to, I want to say, Venice? Maybe Naples? No, I think Naples is the first town you go to. We went to Venice and made an association with the cafe owner there, and sold dark drop coffee beans at great profit for some time before he burned down his cafe. We also decided to side against the anarchists, which led to Fallen London's rise. We also gave Port Carnelian to Fallen London. There was a power struggle between Fallen London, the Khanate, and the locals, the Tigers there in Port Carnelian, and we ended up siding with Fallen London, giving full control of Port Carnelian over to Fallen London. The Iron Republic is just chaos. I don't think there's any deeper story there. And Hunter's Keep, we've unfortunately seen the end of. Lobar Net is kind of unfinished. We haven't managed to tell enough stories, or I suppose retrieve the stories from Lobar Net to get the passenger there to come back with us. But I'm not quite sure what he's going to do. I don't quite know what he wants from us either. Just underwater locations. We were lacking in the stories that we needed to bring there. Venderbite, we finished the first curator. Wither and Codex kind of just exist. The Undercrow, we finished the Nearly Dead Man's quest there to become a moth, and both he and the first curator in Venderbite both became moths, though the Venderbite curator became a moth with runic symbols in all of the colors of the Z that we brought him. Demew Island is just Demew Island, as far as I can tell. Mount Palmerston, we brought back the Wistful Deviless. Yeah, we brought her back to Fallen London, where she was sort of happy, sort of unhappy though. A little regretful there. Antha, we have cured Rosina of her animescence, though we admitted that we probably couldn't redo that sort of cure. We probably couldn't get it back. Salt lines have been collapsed. Rack has been fully cured. They have been redeemed, and so their fuel prices and supply prices are excellent for us. Pigmote Isle has burned to the ground, raised by probably somebody over at Visage. Eigel. Actually, I suppose there's more we could do in Eigel. If we had 10, I want to say 10 of those Needles of Fortis, we might be able to improve our situation there. But that, it seemed like a risky challenge for that. That seemed like it would be something that quite possibly could lead to death, because the description of it was that we would possibly survive if we had tons of that. Fathom King's Hold, there were two things there. We actually finished the Fathom King, his request for our request, our father's bones, where we gave him a officer with a completed quest, which happened to be the same officer who served to him a lovely meal, which he greatly enjoyed. Our bandaged poissonnier, poissonnier, I think. Somebody said it was French, and the French have strange pronunciations of things. But we traded him in along with a whole bunch of other things to go and get our father's bones back from King Eater's Castle, who we brought back to Fallen London. We could actually end our quest that way, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to take that option here. And Station 3 is still Station 3. We've completed quite a few quests there, actually. We were unable to save our snow child, who we got from Mr. Sachs over at Avid Horizon. We were unable to fix him up in time before he melted away with the heart metal from Station 3, which is a bit of a shame. Quite a shame, actually. Abbey Rock, we have also helped out. We helped out our Presbyterate adventuress meet her end in battle against something from the roof of the Neath. Something did glorious battle with her and ended up with her dead as she wished in battle, but with their enemy, the Abbess's enemy, injured greatly before it staggered off back to the roof. Shepherd Isles just tell stories. Guider's Morn is just a pirate bay. Chapel of Lights, we have finished off the sigil-ridden navigator, I want to say it was. who remembered exactly who he was and what he had done, and why that sigil was on his head. We actually had to bring him to Frostfound, I believe, to go and figure that out, as well as Avid Horizon. And so he learned that he had wiped his memories because of the things he had done. Terrible, terrible things. And he had us drop him off at Codex, where he would live a life of silence with his new found knowledge. Old knowledge, I suppose it is. Frostfound, we also found the Mechanist's dream. He had stolen some dreams from the serpent snakes of Parabola in the dreams there. And so he helped us build the Fulgent Impeller, which we made over in King Eater's castle. Port Cecil, as we mentioned, was the principals who we ended up siding against so that we could save our lovely, lovely cook here, the Nacreous survivor, then the Nacreous outcast. We ended up siding with him and keeping his existence rather than giving the principals non-existence, which they desired. Nuncio we've also cleared out. In the basement of that, there is the strange artifact which attracts all things. We sat there and received a searing enigma for our trouble of going all the way down with some foxfire candles. Nook we've actually been to the bottom of. There wasn't really anything there. We went all the way down the gullet, which really didn't net us anything. It wasn't great. Scrimshander is just an area with a bunch of stories. We've gone there, and I think we've actually figured out that a hero was not in fact a hero in their archives. We did that a long time ago. So there's nothing left to do here. The Sea of Lilies was where we delivered our first cook to, the cook that came with us out of the army. And he gave us a lot of things for delivering him there. We also rescued a prisoner there, the Unsettling Sage, I believe it was, to go and serve as a catalyst, I think, or the Fulgent Impeller for that engine for the Mechanist's quest. Or the Mechanic's quest, rather. Visage, we spent quite a bit of time there. We actually couldn't figure quite how to get out. But we eventually got to go into the face where everybody took off their hoods, took off their masks there, and we lit up a candle, finding out that not everybody there was necessarily human or really anything that we knew. Some of them were eldritch beings when we unveiled that candle, when we lit that up and finally saw a good look at everybody's faces. So not sure what's going on there. Rosegate, we have finished the tobacconist's quest. He did quite a few terrible things in the pursuit of his underwater cigarette. They were not pleasant. We tried to help with some of the more tasteful tasks and avoid the least tasteful, but we weren't quite able to do that. We did end up having to do some terrible things to some some innocent creatures. The Isle of Cats we have opened up. We have talked to the Pirate King there, and he has given us the ability to get red honey, should we so trade for it. Adam's Way we have also finished up. That was how you got off the south edge of the world. Not to mention we had given our brisk campaigner, now the Indomitable campaigner, I believe, who we cured of their animescence. We let her help out in their animescence hospital. Unfortunately, again, there was no replicatable results, so they still don't have a cure for animescence. Varkas we finished, but we may have made the wrong choice there. We ended up siding with the city instead of the jewel-turbaned youth, which resulted in, yes, the establishment of order in the kind of chaotic revolution that was going on, but it did result in the jewel-turbaned jewel-turbaned youth being thrown out, cast out of Varkas, and Varkas permanently sealing their doors to the outside world, which was really not great. The Melting Isles is just an area full of old, crotchety professors, sea captains, pirates, all sorts of things, just kind of living out their last moments in a really paradise-esque tropical area. Though we did introduce some Blemigans from the Uttershroom up here, over in there, and I think that's actually made the forests a little bit more dangerous there. We were getting chased out, and we were losing some crewmates. Polythreme is just Polythreme. It's where the Claymen come from. They have the Clay King there. We've traded a Watchful Idol for an Awakened Idol, I think, in there through the help of the Clay King there. Dahoot, we're still trying to find the escaped composer's friend there. And we do know, I think somebody in chat mentioned last time, you have to get 20 clarity with no other effects. It doesn't matter what your um, enthrallment, I think, is the other option there. It doesn't matter what your enthrallment is at. Once you get 20 clarity, you can apparently rescue everybody there. And it doesn't matter the time or anything, how long you've been there. Nothing like that. Godfall, we ended up actually exploring through everything there. We discovered the twisted bones of every creature that lived in the spire before it fell. Apparently, they were doing something quite nasty, and according to our Nacreous survivor, they were warping themselves to try to match the rubbery men, the kind of squid folk that the Nacreous survivor is. Khan's Shadow is just Khan's Shadow. I believe we searched for maybe his mother there, and we didn't end up finding her there, but we did go in far enough. Khan's Heart we have opened to us. Khan's Glory we have bribed to get Khan's Heart open to us. Frostfound we've already gone there with a few people. I don't think there's anything more there. Irem is Irem. It was, it ever shall be. Exactly as it is, and I still don't understand how that works, but it's somehow connected to the Dream Snakes. We've actually explored all around Irem too, just to make sure there weren't any cities hiding beyond it. Though it doesn't look like there's an abyss up there, so we'll have to go check that out probably, if they're all different. The Gant Pole we have explored. We've gone all the way into the chamber. We are still waiting for the Fading Haruspex. We are still waiting for her to provide our answer to the Sixth Witness, and I'm really not sure as to how or why she has not yet done that. I've kind of given up on it. We've sent a lot of ZBCs her way, and she's not yet come up with an answer for us. So I'm kind of thinking there's something I'm missing, something that I probably won't get. The Chelonate has also been explored. We talked to a historian there, and we did determine in Irem, of all things, Irem of all places, that the shell of the beast that the Chelonate is sitting on was not actually hunted as the Chelonate, Chelonateers? Something like that. The Chelonateers claimed that their ancestors did. It actually died, and the Chelonate folks just kind of colonized the dead shell. And so he was greatly disheartened by that. He went to Fallen London, where he now sells wares. Hideaway, we have also found the city on top of an underwater Z-Beast's back. We ended up siding with the city again, instead of the impolite investigator, to keep the secret, which we murdered the impolite investigator over, that the shell of Hideaway that Hideaway is settled on is actually too small for the beast that's on it. Temtum, I think it is. And really, it should have been shed long ago. Hideaway will crumble and fall away when that shell goes. But we kept their peace for a little longer. The Empire of Hands, as we mentioned, had the Zeppelin on it. We are hopefully going to watch that sail away successfully to the east. We ended up breaking the trade embargo that Fallen London had bestowed on it so we could help them get that Zeppelin funded. But hopefully it'll all be well this time. Savior's Rocks, just a bunch of spiders. There might be more there, but there's too many spiders. And God, do I not want to check out Savior's Rocks. God, is that a creepy, creepy place. I don't mind missing out on that at all. And King Eater's Castle, last but not least. The area where our father's bones lie, which we found and retrieved. The area where we made the Fulgent Impeller, an engine forged by sacrifice from the Sea of Lilies, from the unsettling sage from there, and from the dreams stolen from the serpents of Parabola by the mechanic. King Eater's Castle. What a place. That has every location we have pretty much finished. All except for Aestival, where we will eventually try to build our kingdom. And that is what we will try to do this stream, I think. All we have before that is to rescue the prisoners in Dahoot and observe the Empire of Hands Zeppelin departure. So let's get on that, shall we? We've got lots of fuel. Yeah, tons and tons of fuel. And a decent amount of supply. The Alarming Scholar is the one we will eventually seek for our Dread Surmise here. But once we do that, the Scholar will become permanently unavailable. Maybe she'll seek out the Searing Enigma that we give her. Enigmae, I think it is, plural of that. Maybe she'll seek out all of those. She'll find something else out and disappear from the university just like that. Regardless, that'll be the last we can give to her. So we'll want to make sure that we're all done here. Not that she really gives us anything beneficial. She's mostly just there for trading in all these various things that we've been picking up around the way. The Voracious Diplomat. We have vital intelligence for her, which we could turn in. You know what? In fact, we shall. We've been under the assumption that we're probably going to need a lot of favor from one of the factions in the Untersee. And the major factions, as far as I can tell, are Fallen London, obviously. That is one major one. The Anarchists would have been another one if we had not ended up turning them in Venice. We turned that in, kind of stopped that where it led. The Khanate is clearly a second one. The Chelenate may be a third, but they kind of just keep themselves. They're more of a hunting society more than anybody that wants to get political power. That's kind of the same with Hell. They're content, the Iron Republic and Mount Palmerston, to just deal among themselves, and we have not really ingratiated ourselves to them, nor have we found a way to ingratiate ourselves to them. Varkas probably could have been one, but obviously we have sealed them off, so they're no longer a major player. Adam's Way was another one. That is where the Presbyterate lies, and I can't seem to see a way that the Presbyterate would assist in our ways. They are immortal. We did determine that, actually, hence why the Presbyterate Adventuress wanted to seek a way to die, because she has outlived her allotted immortal lifespan. So she was actually being hunted down. The Abbey is sort of another one. We have seen abysses in the Abbey Rock, Rosegate, and a few other places around, though I don't know if they're all part of the same Abbey there. They are classified as a military institution. The Admiral in Fallen London, when he was alive, or when he was present, maybe he's still alive, was fond of saying there. They were classified as a military institution, but they don't really seem all that interested in worldly affairs, which I suppose makes sense. And last but not least, the folks from the Dawn Machine, who we accidentally put into power, folks at the Grand Geode, they will be assisting us with Aestival's conquering, sort of. Its habitability improvement. So I don't really know. I think that'll kind of be the max of their contributions to Aestival. I think if we want to establish a kingdom of our own there, we are going to have to do that with one of the with assistance from one of the other factions around the Sunless Sea, and none of these we are more well tied in with than Fallen London. So I'm going to try to get as much Admiralty's favor as I can in Fallen London. The only way of which is to talk to the Voracious Diplomat now. I suppose technically pirates are themselves a faction. The Isle of Cats and Guider's Morn are two very well-known pirates locations, but they're more chaotic. The Pirate King is in the Isle of Cats, but I really don't know how far his respect goes. I don't know if all pirates kind of mention or kind of pay tribute to him. Rack also seem to be doing their own thing. Guider's Morn very much does seem disconnected with them. But I don't think they're going to be a major player in all of this. Anyway, I've been summarizing too long. That's the season recap. Let's go to Dahoot. Let's make our way over there. I think we will have enough food to get over there. How's our hold space doing? Hold space is doing all right. I think we've got everything here set out for Dahoot. We should make it over there all right. I might stop off in Rack here in just a moment, just so we can top off that a little bit more. We will need lots of food no matter what, so... Just joined if you've not been playing the game for the last half an hour. I have not. I have been recapping exactly what it is we've done on the on the Sunless Sea. exactly what's been going on and exactly how I think the ending here with us creating a kingdom is going to go. So, wow, what is that? That's probably the giant crab that typically patrols this area, right? Yeah, that western angler crab. So we'll just kind of skirt around him. We are moving towards an end here. So I just wanted to make sure that I, along with everybody else, knew what had gone on in the Sunless Sea. There were quite a few things, actually. We've accomplished a whole lot in this captain's lifetime. But we have still a few more things to go. Another nightmare. We have restful nights. We'll flee, gain a little bit of terror, and we are almost unmenaced by nightmare. Nightmares, I suppose it is. Okay, let's go grab the Song of Broken Hulls again. Let's check the details of this a little bit more. Maybe we're missing something else. The escaped composer's song. Take this, says the composer. It is a score scratched into a sheet of seaweed. There's someone I want you to find in Dahoot, away from Dahoot. The composer explains, while I languished in a cell from Dahoot, dining on drowny slops, this is the music I wished to have, but I cannot compose it there. Take it, use it, allow me my little revenge. You glance over the score. The tune suggests the impact of metal and stone. A broken shell, a bubble of air slowly rising to the surface. This is not a cheerful song for a submarine. I've just noticed here, this is literally the song of a submarine dying. Impact of metal and stone, they're running aground. A broken shell is the submarine hull breaking, and the bubble of air is the last drop of air going to the surface. I'd never noticed that before. But apparently somebody said we need that for the escape of the escaped composer's companion. So we'll go and sit on that. We'll make sure not to use it. The state of the city is, of course, as always, doing great. We'll go top off supplies. I think 15 should be plenty. I think 15 should be okay. And we'll take 30... No, let's get 35 supply, or 35 fuel. There's always a good chance to get more here. So let's, I think, be done here. Set across for Dahoot. Hopefully we will have the oxygen to make it there. I think that's our limiting agent here. Dahoot is by polythreme. We don't... Whoops, I didn't need to surface. Even with the surface key on the far side of the keyboard, I still always manage to tap it by accident. We don't have any firkins of prisoner's honey, as I think what I was about to say, for the udder shroom to give us more blemigans. We've propagated blemigans pretty far, far and wide, at least all over the eastern side of the Z, and we've taken them to a few locations on the western side as well. I believe probably just the Iron Republic and Fallen London. There was what I'm pretty sure was just a few blemigans in a coat who actually took our whole stock of blemigans from us when we were in Fallen London. But that's okay. He seemed as if he had positive interest, which if he was a bunch of blemigans in a coat, he would have, for the blemigans that we gave to him, so I'm okay with that. And the lovely music for the principals is going to just fade in here as we head our way over to Dahoot. And I think we just need to go a little bit north. After we pass this, we can go and submerge and find Dahoot here. Might as well submerge now. below us, I believe, is Scrimshander. You can just see the edges of the bones. Scrimshander is, of course, the location that inscribes stories and history on bone, though apparently they're not too bothered by historical accuracy. They have mentioned that some histories are more interesting than others, and of course we are reaching spooky screaming faces, which we still have no details on. We still don't exactly know why they're there. But they are all around Dahoot. It must have something to do with their illusion going on here. But I don't think we'll need to buy anything here. I think we should be good to set out, even if we do get kicked out of Dahoot and lose access to their market. Let's stay a while again and make sure that we look for visitors, which will give us more clarity, a little bit more. Search the secret places, which will give us even more clarity. And investigate the crypt, which will also give us more clarity. We need to get to 20, and I have no idea how one does that. We don't want to use up our Song of Broken Hulls. Apparently we do need that. We can read an unread log, but that goes either way, and we're not sure if it'll go our way. I suppose we may as well. It's just luck. Might shed some light, or it might not. Unlucky. We lost clarity. Dang. And we gained enthrallment. Oh, and we have the option to be fitted for clothes. That's actually an option we've never seen before. Interesting. I guess we will take that. We can attend a midsummer festival again. You know what? We attended this last time. Oh, but that kicked us out, actually. Let's get fitted here. The ordinary garments don't fit in with the local style. If you're going to stay, you may as well blend in. Drowny Couturier, I think that's pronounced. In a cluttered workshop, the Drowny Couturier copies fashion plates from London for the upper half of the garment. The set of sleeves is as good as anything one could find at home. She takes pride in matching the weave of cloth, the buttons, the dyes, the trim, so that nothing falls short of the original. As for the lower half, it swirls and floats as Drowny clothes do, though she has to modify her usual pattern in order to make it fit your legs. Not that there's anything wrong with that, she assures you. Oh, but this has just increased our enthrallment, which is not necessarily what we wanted. I think we're actually going to consume the white molliflower, just because we are very, very well enthralled. 21 enthrallment. And we still don't have that clarity. I really don't know how to increase that clarity more. Let's free you. Partake of the white molliflower. It'll free you from any enthrallment to Dahoot that will not prevent you from becoming enthralled again in the future. We can always get more. We do have Scintillic, or at least access to Scintillic. Crush, bite. The light fades out of the air, the warmth from the sea. You can still breathe, but your lungs ache from the chill of what you're breathing in. It is difficult to see any of the buildings of Dahoot in this dimness, but the cathedral looks like a wrecked hull. I feel like the Liturgy of Souls is probably going to be another exit here, but we don't really have anywhere to increase clarity other than by using the Song of Broken Hulls again, so I guess we're going to attend it? Not sure. How can you not be enticed by form-fitting formal wear? You're not wrong. That they were some lovely clothes. I just thought we'd get a little more clarity, too. Maybe she forgot the glasses. That's probably why. But let's consider attending the Liturgy of Souls. The Drownies nibble sugar bones, and the doors of the cathedral are opened for the only time of the year. Let's go in. The last of the festivals. The cathedral is dark, except for the candles that do not nearly illuminate its upper reaches. The Drownies gather in the choir stalls to sing. They sing about graves they will never inhabit, about the renown of a good death. The floor is strewn with drowning pearls. We don't know our part. I see. We don't have a love song, hymn, or a counterpoint. So I guess we're just going to have to keep awake here if we want to. All the drownings are gathered. You do not belong here since you are still human, but they do not keep you out. The altar is where the altar should be. There is a square depression in the floor. It would be a pool were the cathedral not already submerged. A drowny in a mitra presides. Keep awake. Awake! Inches burn away from the candles. Reddish smoke from the censers diffuses into the waters. Time is passing and not passing. We are not very clear, but we are going to have to try to risk it. Failure. A liturgy of complexity. The liturgy is unbearably long and inscrutably complicated. It includes a list of the names of ships that have sunk in the vicinity of Mount Palmerston, the scientific appellation of every moth with irigo in its wings, the true name of an infamous crocodile. Mount Palmerston, obviously, that's just names sunk near there. Moths with irigo in its wings, that is a color, I believe, of forgetfulness. I think that's what irigo is for. I could be wrong there. A crocodile is obviously from Visage, a recounting of persons who have consumed the spores of the uddershroom, that's just uddershroom stuff, an assortment of herbs, together with their growing seasons and medicinal applications. Long before it ends, you have fallen into a numb half-sleep. You come to yourself with the procession filing out, but you remember one large secret and several obscure hints. Okay, so we got a secret from that. And unfortunately, that is our stay into Hoot. So we didn't manage to gain clarity. I'm really not sure on how we gain clarity. We must have to go to some more events somewhere. Maybe we just have to be more successful, more lucky with our stay. But let's head down to the Empire of Hands while we're over here. We will return to Fallen London to go and grab some more recent news before we adventure to Hoot the next time. I really do wish there was a way for us to get more clarity into Hoot. We will actually need to go stop off at Fathom King's Hold for the white molyflower. Do we have some more Centillic? Yes, we do. Plenty of it, too. So we should be good there. We are just about at the Empire of Hands. There is a phthalate over here, which is very, very creepy. You know what? Let's try sinking this fellow before he sinks us. Whoa, what was that? Because a phthalate is actually one of the Z beasties that... Oh, I see. Whoa, wow. Okay, that does quite a bit of damage. That's actually a firing solution from them. He really chunks damage out. Luckily, we've got lots of health to tank it with, but... Oh, he's trying to run. Not today. Alright, we've defeated a phthalate. In death, the phthalate looks like a grisly collage of an untamed vivisectionist. Mercifully, most of it has stopped moving. Let's go send it to the Gant Pole. The wound is fatal. It will surely head to the Gant Pole. The behemoth goes to die. The crew watches uncomfortably as the red wake spreads. Is this mercy or cruelty? The murmured arguments continue long into the night. The looks they shoot you are all the harsher for their uncertainty. A little bit of terror, but I think rightly earned. Let's go and circle here to get to the Empire of Hands. Now we will have a reason to visit the Gant Pole and check out the Irredeemable over there. Or Irrepressible, I think it was. Those are two similar but very different meaning ship's names. The Zeppelin does still seem to be here. I wonder if that will change once we send it off, or if that's kind of just a present existence of the island. Or maybe... do they not even go here? Ah, I see. Oh, okay. So if we had Salt's attention, we would actually be able to go over there. Salt and Storm's attention, as well as a traveling light. Interesting. That would be another ending, but I don't think we'll take that again. We could destroy it. That would be a Veils challenge, and also I don't really want to do that. The monkeys are if a little odd, generally okay. Soaring glory of etc., etc., etc. If the monkeys insist on calling it that, in your heart, though, it will always be the, well, never mind. But let's check on the Zeppelin. Why is the Great Exodus not yet underway? To the east or the south? It transpires that your help meant the Zeppelin was finished far earlier than expected, and the Wild-Wheeled Court has yet to decide where to go. Both factions are still likely arguing about it in the Silent Gallery. Okay, I guess we get to make some more details about it. You will leave the soaring glory for now. The Admiralty will not be happy about this. Let's check that out. We actually do need to go to the Wild-Wheeled Court anyway, because we have to trade these Gifts of Cinder. Apparently, this and the Alarming Scholar are the only two locations where you can trade these, and apparently you get Judgment's Eggs here, which the Alarming Scholar just gives you echoes, and echoes are effectively worthless. We have easy ways of making those. So Gift of Cinders, let's not trade. Let's exchange gifts. A Mandarin grants you a glimpse of a Judgment's Egg, very rare, very prized. Almost as much as the cinders traded only between the highest of high-souled apes. Here you go. A most unfortunate distraction. A Judgment's Egg is a soul of a sort, though not one even the Pentecost apes would try to absorb. Strangely, as you show the Mandarin your cinder and she shows you her egg, she's called away by an unheard voice. How strange. You'd better hold on to this, for safekeeping, of course. We have traded it. We are already at max status here, so we'll go trade the last one of this. We'll hold on to one just in case we need it for any reason. And we will go. So, a visitor in court. There's apparently a duel going on. We do have something awaits us here. We should probably check in with the Silent Gallery first, just to see if we need that something awaits us here instead. While the Emperor sleeps and feasts, the exquisite Seneschal coordinates with the great, coordinates the Great Exodus. You are granted permission to enter. The silence is a pleasant slap to the face, sweetly scented with incense. Inside, the exquisite Seneschal moves between clusters of mandarins in their yellow and red robes, using her experience to not so much give orders as offer advice on what the Emperor would wish. Now, it looks like we've got a few options here. We could help stab him in the back if we wanted to steal the Zeppelin. We can suggest that they go east, as they were, I thought they were planning on going. Or we can suggest that they go to the Elder Continent, to the south, where the Presbyteriate lies, and where Varkas is, actually. I think we will suggest that they go east. I don't want them coming into conflict with the Presbyteriate and with Varkas. And east, I am much more interested in what exactly is going on there. It exists as a location. There is a habitable area there, and it is most beautiful. It seemed to have some sort of light, despite the fact that cities were not there. But no one goes there, and I don't know why, and I would really like to know why. So maybe this will give us some insight as to why the East has not been colonized, why it is not part of the Sunless Sea. Let's give them a destination past the uttermost edge. Before the Zeppelin can depart, the monkeys must agree on a destination. Suggest they head east. That we shall. We'll lose a Z story for it, but an uncharted Z. Who knows what lies beyond the darkness? The Pentecost apes would not simply be explorers, but pioneers. The first known travelers out in the darknesses where none have even heard of humans, probably. It's not a tale you can tell with any real conviction, but it boosts their ego. As you leave, they are already arguing over the wardrobe that they will need to give their best impressions on their future friends and slaves. They'll be eaten by a giant lanternfish. Oh. All right. Well. Neat. Well, I don't think we'll gain the Emperor's favor here. Let's just return to the court. And since we didn't end up using our something awaits us. I'm just kidding, just guessing. Oh, okay. Whew. Well, I mean, they're probably going to be eaten by something out there. There's probably a reason that the humans who were so... Well, actually, there are lots of factions, non-human, that are also so hungry for land and influence, there's probably a reason they haven't gone east. It is the land of salts, I believe. Yeah, Salt, the god of salt. His domain, effectively. But anyway, let's go be a visitor in court for a little bit. A duel. What passes for court business draws to a halt as two high-souled monkeys prepare to draw blades. Let's go pay our 25 echo here. An epic battle to the humiliation. When monkeys duel, every surface becomes part of the fight. They climb the walls, hang from the ceilings, or charge through the cheering crowd with no care for who or what their rapiers may cut and slice. Death is not the goal. For the loser to forever remember this day, and this defeat with burning shame is reward enough. Bets are taken, you place yours. Victory. As the losing monkey is taken to be shaved and at least one soul forfeited, you collect your winnings. We gained 25 echo. Perfect. And I think we will finish that here. Let's check on the Zeppelin then. Let's see how the flight of the soaring glory is going to be, how it's going to interact with. The Pentecost apes are ready to depart. Dawn of a new empire. You watch the launch preparations of the soaring glory of Emperor Crispin IV's, greatest of his name. Surrounded by hundreds of excited monkeys, the Emperor is carried past the guards and up the ramp on a sedan chair. After him, in uniforms of gold and purple, walk the nobility. They are followed by the mandarins, led by the exquisite seneschal. Next to board are the lower-souled monkeys who, the guards open fire with their rifles, holding back the crowd as the ramp is pulled up. A sea of betrayed faces can only stare in horror as the soaring glory rises into the sky and away to the east, taking with it their stockpiled food and the last of their hopes. The howl grows angrier with each new voice. Okay, so basically only the nobility sailed off here. And hold on a second. Let's close this real fast. Yeah, the Zeppelin is gone. All of their supplies, most of their fuel, I think, has gone into that. What has happened here? Let's have an audience with the civilized mayor. He was sort of part of the nobility. He was kind of the liaison, so I wonder how things are doing with him. Talk business. Why, yes, of course we shall, but after a cup of tea, one must do these things correctly. A polite welcome. Darling, do come in, the civilized mayor purrs. Whatever can I do for you? The soul of the delightful adventuress sits comfortably in him, the four-souled ape of cold, ambitious, and very few scruples. And he apparently doesn't have anything much to say. In better times, being overseer of Port Stanton gave the incumbent their pick of visitors to the Empire. Now it is as thankless a task as any to be found in the Neath. Yeah, exactly the same contact here. So we'll leave back here. I think Sovereign Island was not previously its name. Right, because it was the Wild-Wheeled Court then. Travel to the Sovereign Island. The Zeppelin is gone. The court remains. What is happening here? An angry mob. Pentecost apes from across the Empire are massing outside the Wild-Wheeled Court, screaming for answers and comfort those inside cannot give. The delightful adventuress was released. They released her. How thoughtful. Well. Apparently she sees us over the crowd. She shouts, Capitano. She strides through the crowd, her hair and clothes encrusted with dry bits of egg and tomato and things better not even recognized. Capitano, I wanted you to know. I bear you no grudges. Have you ever been to a place called, Savior's Rocks? The monkeys tell me it is most interesting. You've run faster in the past, but not often. Yeah, no kidding. No chance am I taking her elsewhere. She is definitely going to be betraying us if we do take her aboard. And to Savior's Rocks, that area with spiders, she is definitely, or would definitely, get us eaten there. Well. Today, the sprawling palace is called the Wild-Wheeled Court. Tomorrow, who knows, the world of the Pentecost apes is one of cruel whimsy, where stolen traditions last only as long as their amusement. Not that the Wild-Wheeled Court is even present anymore. Attempt to enter the Wild Weald Court. The soldiers once again bar your passage. Faithful, you think. Even after being left. An empire betrayed, outsiders are no longer welcome in court. I guess we're done there. Once again, Port Stanton beckons, lights above as below. The false stars look down, the little glim lanterns in the water stare up. Neither is needed to guide you back to the relative quiet of Port Stanton. Wow. So, what do the pirates think of this? Ooh, they think quite interestingly of this. A council of war. Since when was the village full of Pentecost apes? Ah, there you are. About time, too. With the might of the Empire now gone, the boisterous pirate and his crew are preparing an assault on what was the Wild Weald court. Many of the betrayed monkeys have joined them in an odd attempt at rebellion. At the very least, we'll go out fighting, yes, he booms, clapping you hard enough on the shoulder. And who knows, maybe one day we'll make ourselves a proper home of this place yet. You leave them to it, he has this in hand. And it doesn't look like we have any proper raids here. But they are apparently going to set off for a good, proper, and total raid on what is remaining of the Wild Weald Court. Not that we can attend. Apparently, these raids have been around forever. They are just a casual raid, which might apparently give us supply. Let's return to the boat, though. And there shouldn't be much left on the... Oh, right. On Fountainhead Island, we have the treasure hunt yet. We have now learned part of that. Let's go back to this. I wonder if that's... Is that in our hold? The treasure map? Revelatory chart. Ah. I can't read it here, but we now know that there have been 4 emperors, which was part of the clues there. We'll go set out from here. I think we'll just sail straight on back to Fallen London. We may stop at Savior's Rocks. We can get spider silk there. We need 21, which we do have room for. 21 for the merchant venturer. He has had a long-standing request that we might as well deliver. And we've actually never gone for this option, so who knows what it'll be like. Uh-oh. A Lorn Fluke here, who I don't want to tangle with. Our hull is a little too low for me to be entirely comfortable with that. But it looks like we'll make it okay. And just on our west. Enough to make the skin on my back and everywhere else flutter the spiders of Savior's Rocks. God, it's creepy. My God, it is terrifying. It is horrifying. But we've made it over to the Nativity here. If we had a Foxfire candle and wanted to collect spider silk, and really we're trusting in our veils, we could go in and try to get it there. I definitely will not. Could trace supplies for silk. Do they not have a shop? Oh, they don't. So apparently we can only trade supplies for silk. Alternatively, we could take these trinkets, which are definitely spiders, back with the possibility that we have them loosed on us at Z, which would be a terrible, terrible option. That would be very much not nice. I guess we can't bring spider silk back. Okay. Well, that's good? Question mark to know. I guess we head back, passing through Fathom King's Hold, I think. We'll just jog down there before we head properly back to Fallen London to grab some more recent news. And we may as well clear out this space to the west of us that is black on the map. Though I'm pretty sure I know exactly why that space is still blackened. Oops. Not because we bump into things. Hopefully. Hopefully we won't bump into anything, but I do know something that travels here. Something terrifying and horrible. Will we see it? No, we'll be okay. Yeah, we will be totally fine. We should have enough fuel and enough supply to get all the way back. We will go top off on Rack. Before or after Fallen London? Depends on our path. Looks like there's a little bit of a fog bank, so we'll try to swing north. See if we can bypass it a little bit. Yep, we're good. And let's make our way to Fathom Kings. Yes, Fathom Kings Keep? Castle? There's too many kings in this. There are two, but I guess technically there are 3, 4, 5-ish. There are the kings of Varkas, I think. They kind of have a king. There's the king of the Empire of Hands. The Emperor, I suppose that. There's probably a kings in the Khanate. And there's Fathom King and King Eater's Castle. Not sure who exactly it is referring to with King Eater's Castle there. There is a king being referred to. And of course, more fog. Lovely. Unfortunately, this is where Fathom King's hold is. We do need to go around a side. We could have gone around the south side as well as the north, but both are covered by this fog, I do so believe, so we'll just head around the north. And let us circle here. Fathom King's hold. All I am interested in is this white molly flower. Thank you very much. Looks like a fish in water and a flower in air. The Drownies recommend owning one if you're going to their cousins at Dahoot. Sprig and fins. Place it in water if it needs reviving. Crush it and bite it if the needs arise. It is proof against seeing things that aren't there, which is the only trick they know in Dahoot. A sniff and a jealous song go with this observation. Let's, get the heck out of here, then. I do not want to descend to talk to the Fathom King, nor can we, actually. So, from here, we head to Fallen London. I do wish we could stock up on recent news. That would kind of be nice, but sometimes them's the breaks. A corvette that we could take on if we wanted to fight the pirate poet again. But I think we outpace them. Even them, who are, the Corsairs are the fastest. Or, I always do that. Not Corsairs, the other sea-type ship. They are the fastest, as far as I can tell, ships on the Sunless Sea. We have actually been out-cornered by them previously, but not now. On flataways, especially with the AI in the state that it is, we are totally well and good here. Let's go ahead back to Fallen London. We will, we should be able to make it with the amount of food and stuff we have. Through some fog, though. And a small crab here. But I think we should be all good. Yeah, we will outrun pretty much everything. And we will make it back with a fair bit of fuel, but not very much supply. And of course, the revenue men are here. I have nothing on us that is of various interests to that. Alarming Scholar has a present for me. Lovely. So we'll stop by with her first. Get some supplies. Lovely. Bottled supplies at that. Always nice to have. And I don't think we picked up anything else for her. Extraordinary implications. Actually, we haven't used those anywhere else. I'll keep on to 2, but I'll give her 1. What a tantalizing crumb. 250 echo, not too bad. That'll cover some costs, at least. The Scent of Secrets, I will place it with the others one day. One day I will have enough. And we are quite an antiquarian at this point. But we do need to go, let's see, to our lodgings. That is where we will get some recent use. We got some supply there too. Lovely. And I think that's actually from this one, the promotional coupon from Miss Plenty's Provisioners for a half cask of salt herring. That's actually where we're getting the supplies, because it doesn't always give us this with the recent news, which is nice. And we may as well spend some time with our family here, just to reduce our terror and gain ourselves another restful night. Nice and reduced. That'll be all we needed in Fallen London. This time, we will head, of course, back to Dehoot. We don't need to stop off... Well, we will need to stop off at Rack for supplies and stuff. But Dehoot, if we don't get it this time, we will... Or even if we do, we will head up to the Gant Pole to see what the Fading Haruspex has to say. Maybe she has more information on us, for us on the 6th witness, who asked us to ask her something. Still not sure as to what. We'll go up there and figure that out. We don't have any business at the Empire of Hands anymore. I suppose while we're up by here, we could go after the Irrepressible. But I don't know how good an option that is. It did seem like it was a formidable ship. Quite formidable. So we may want to avoid it yet. It didn't have that much health, is the thing. We've taken on Mount Nomad before, as well as the figurehead, or the Eater of Names for its figurehead. But they both had much more health than this. So maybe it's not that formidable, it's just kept up by tails and whatnot. We'll head up there and figure that out. Beyond that, we just have to figure out how to get clarity in an increased rate. Maybe we just have to get lucky. Maybe that's just it. But it costs us a recent news every time we go in, so we'll always have to come back to Fallen London for it, which is inconvenient. Maybe we should figure out a trade route to Dehoot. But the only thing they want to buy there is parabol linen. We already have the best trade route there from Khan's Heart to Irem to Dehoot. We check out the sea map here, the sea economy. What else is on the way? Port Cecil just deals in fuel and supplies. Not great. Khan's Shadow. Let's see, what does Khan's Shadow need? Casks of mushroom wine, devilbone dice, figurehead of the Eater of Names. Not a whole lot. Nothing we can make a significant profit off of. Everything else is kind of out of the way. Alright, well, we'll just have to hope to get lucky at Dehoot here, because there's nothing else we can do. Should make sure you don't have something awaits you for the Dehoot thing. Otherwise, the going to prison option won't show up when you have 20 clarity. Oh. Hold up. But we... Oh, what? I think we have to have something awaits us to get into Dahoot. I think that's a necessity, isn't it? Oh, I've got to observe that function more carefully. Skirt around the salt lines again to get to Rack. I do wish submerging and remerging didn't take quite so much time. They are a wee bit inconvenient. Not annoying, necessarily. Well, a little bit annoying sometimes, depending on whether we're getting shot at or not, but it's just the animation that takes quite a bit of time. It's not so great. But we'll go get to Rack here. Rack. State of the city is still lovely. We still have the song, because we never sang it. We will buy up supplies, I think, to 20, and fuel to 30. Suppose we might as well top up on fuel. There's no reason to particularly let it not be there, because this is, as we've established, the cheapest area in all of the Sunless Sea, actually, not just in the Neath, because fuel is more expensive on the surface. But supply is the cheapest in all of the Sunless Sea, not necessarily on the surface, because the surface has much better supply rates. We just have to get them one by one, which is not stellar. That's not great. I think that's all we have to do in Rack. We do still have lots of tether, or rather, lots of scrap, which we can exchange for a taste of tether. I don't think there are any more tether stories yet to be looked at, though. All the options seem like they've been finished. I do kind of wish that they had more there, or they had a definite end. We did end up turning the king into our friend. But I don't know if that is just one of a few ends or what. At this point, though, I'm kind of more concerned about the Dahoot thing, because I'm pretty sure that the something awaits us there is required to get into the city alone. We'll check that out. If we do end up needing to not have that, we can always go somewhere else. Polythreme or Ashaven are both good options to go and remove that, because they're right by there. Something big to the north here. Wrecked ship. Yeah, no, we are not going to deal with that. It wants to deal with us, though, apparently. But not that much. Something else here. Fuel? No, torpedo components. We haven't actually used any torpedoes. Maybe they're not that bad, but we've never had a forward weapon slot, so we've not quite needed them anyway. I think this should be the principles, I want to say. You can get a Drowning Song and Counterpoint, that'll set your clarity and enthrallment to clarity plus enthrallment times, divided by 2. Okay, so if you're exceptionally enthralled, that's a good option. We also didn't get whatever that was. I think that was Irrigo. I think that would have reset, or reduced our terror. But yeah, you are right in that the Drowning Song and Counterpoint does require a second trip. Which is not great. It just takes so much time to get out to Dahoot. That's the unfortunate thing, because it is way on the other side of the map, and we cannot get recent news from anywhere but Fallen London, obviously. We will see if we get lucky in this trip here. I do wish that something about this would help us out with clarity. I wish there was one option to specifically just raise clarity. But yeah, checking the options out here. Yeah, you do need to use something awaits us to get into Dahoot. So we won't ever have a something awaits you. So or we shouldn't ever have a something awaits you when we get to the options in Dahoot. No clue what that's all about. Yeah, something awaits us is gone, just getting in. So, all right, let's go again. What to do first? Check for other visitors. We just want to get the basic stuff here done. Search for secret places. Getting to clarity to 10 when stays between 1 and 4 will allow you to investigate the calendar. Ah, okay. We've got it to 10. Let's investigate the calendar. Hopefully we get a success. We don't ever get a success here. Dang. I think that we are kind of screwed here then, no matter what. We may as well try out another unread log. 16 clarity. Oh, man. Reduction in enthrallment. Let's actually look at the flavor text on this. Another visitor's tale. The log tells of a harrowing stay in Dahoot. The writer could not see the enthralling visions of the cathedral and the rosy garden that fascinated all of her shipmates. The Drownies dragged her into the cathedral crypt and secured her there so that she could tell no one what she saw. There she remained for many months. Now and then a new prisoners arrived. Occasionally the Drownies would take a few prisoners to be turned into Drownies themselves, but she remained unable to leave until one of the Drownies took pity on her and left a key in her reach. I guess we could go for it again. Unlucky. More enthrallment. We will use our last unread log on this, I think. Unlucky. Damn. Okay. Well, we've gotten kind of screwed here. We may as well take the Midsummer's Festival in here. Beside the cathedral is a green field, and on the field are dancers and ribbons and cakes with the whole fruits baked inside. A memory of the surface. Everything is washed in light, though there is no sun. The air, water tastes of strawberries. The dancers are all around you. The pipes and the drum desire you to sing. And coming towards you, there are 3 especially tall and lithe Drownies. They are carrying trophies and a crown of ivy and white berries, and a witty poem in your honor. We will go and linger again, just to get that Drownie song and counterpoint. Maybe just get a bunch of logs and come back. Might not be the worst option. There have definitely been worse options that we have taken before. The issue is that logs are... The only sure location that I know to get logs are from... I think it's Wither and Codex, and that is even more out of the way. We'll go back and grab some here. We can get 2 per time, but I think we can only get 2 ever whenever we get a Codex with a Something Awaits Us. At least we have the Drownie song and counterpoint here, so maybe we can use that. That is our trip to Hoot finished up. Time to go to the Gant Pole. Ooh, I've also noticed that our hull is not doing so hot, so I probably won't take on the Irrepressible here. Yeah, I think I very much will distinctly not do that. Getting to the Gant Pole, though, shouldn't be too bad. Oh, there's a... Is that a ship? I do believe it is. Ah, that is the Irrepressible, right. I forgot how small of a ship it was. I think if you try again with 3 logs and a Drownie song, If you're lucky, you should be okay. That's good to know. We'll grab some food here, might as well. That ribcage to our right, I kind of thought was the Gant pole, but I was very much wrong. We'll go and dock here. Ooh, turn. Okay, didn't quite make it. But we have returned to the Gant pole. Your return is met by the sight of the recently wounded thalate, using its last on a small beach. It has not been here for long. It does not have long left. Let's go help the fading haruspex again. You can keep away the old zailors while watching her work. You may learn something of her art. A few pointed jabs with one of the old zailors' own harpoons keep the mob at bay. Sever the flesh, whispers the haruspex. Let the entrails form my path. Somewhere in the blood, guts, and blubber, a pattern emerges. She closes her eyes. There shall be a new horizon. All shall know it, but the king's city shall witness it first. 5 intriguing snippets gained from that. Does she have anything to say of us? Our apprenticeship is at 5. Let's ask her about the traveler. Damn. Still no info. Which is really not great for us. Well, I guess let's ask her what she seeks down here. I don't think we've actually asked her this. I don't think we had apprenticeship high enough. You know, let's go through the whole options. It's been a while. Ask about her. How long has she been down here? The passage of time, 10 years, 100, 1,000. It is all the same after a while. The flesh keeps the body together. The mind, well, that is a trickier matter. I have coped, others have not. You have seen them, the oldest of the zailors, with no warm bed and loving family calling them to shore. They are as much creatures of the sea as any that swim in it. The heart welcomes them and they embrace it. It is their fate. I see a far more important one in your future. What about previous visitors? Who else has ventured down here in search of wisdom? The tale of the Presbyterian princess. It has been so long. The last who came here without being drawn, long ago. Time enough that these nails were short and this face still held some beauty. Oh, spare me the sympathetic murmurings. I see the present better than the future like any other. But where was I? Yes, the Presbyterian princess was the last to find me. She came from a city on the mountain to ask about the fate of an uprising. Not that of the 7 who fell, but the 7 who would follow. Would the pain be worth it, she asked? That part I could not answer. Still don't know who either of those 7 are. Hold on. Is it 7 cities that fell? No, I don't think that's right. I think didn't somebody in the chat said that there was like 5 cities? I can't remember. Finally, let's ask her what she seeks down here. There must be something she hopes to find. A painful memory. For many years I considered Wither my home, a city where answers are forbidden. It was quite relaxing after more than one lifetime of being expected to have them. But I broke the rules to spare a child's tears, and for that I was cast out. I will return with the fabled question that can only be answered with truth. The haruspex cackles, resting a hand on your arm. Ah, you think I waste my final years on futile revenge. It is a purpose, a dream. At my age, it is important to have one. Xibalba writes with living corpses aspiring to be nothing but dust. My kings do not need another. Xibalba. That name is familiar, but I think it might be lore, kind of historical lore from the real world rather than something from Fallen London lore. I could be wrong. They do overlap, of course. London is obviously a city. Still, though, very interesting. I guess we might as well ask her about the art of haruspicy. What does she see in the bodies of the dead? The nearly dead, she corrects. There is nothing to be predicted from meat but the quality of one's dinner. A wheezing laugh escapes her lungs. In Babylon, the quivering livers of 100 sheep showed us the fate of the first. In Rome, Caesar only asked the right questions. It is the life that leads to answers, not the meat. Down here, centuries of life, so many secrets. But the great beasts of the sea pass on so rarely, I cannot hold on much longer. I cannot hold on much longer in the hope of finding what I seek. We will keep trying to send more beasts to you, I suppose. But we will set out here. I think we'll travel underwater. Because I think we will. To go and get 2 codex up here. See if we get lucky. We will only be able to bring 2 per visit to Dahoot, basically, unless we want to go way out of our way to go and get things done. There's more research vessels. This is the Khanate, I believe. We are doing fine on Echo, so no need to visit there. We'll take this stream. Are we moving any faster? I actually have no idea. 3 per visit. No, because we only get 2 unread logs per visit to Codex, I believe. I think it's... Oh, maybe it is 3, actually. Hold on. Yeah, you actually might be right. We have lamentable relics for days. It's just the something waits us that is causing our issues there. Thought it was 3, like the thing with monkeys. Yeah, you might be right. It might be 3. This is Nuncio. Been a long time since we did a shift as a postman, but we've already discovered all there is to know there. Nook is to our south, though we have no mushroom wine, so we don't want to risk going down there and having nasty, nasty things happen to us. Not that we can go down there. This is Irigo, I believe? Oh, no. Violent. Oops. Many terror, many fragments. We have terror to spare, at least, so that's good to know. How far off are we? Passing by Antha. We also need to go a little bit more north. Another putter pony to our west. How many secrets do you have right now? We have a lot, actually. 46. But I kind of want to hold on to them. I'm concerned that starting an empire will require lots of secrets, and honestly, that sounds about right. Uh-oh. We are, unfortunately, drowning, though. I really hope we aren't where I think we are. That being... Okay, not by the Undercrow. Should really use a few to increase stats. I'm concerned that we will need them, though. We are planning on getting ourselves a kingdom, and kingdoms are built on secrets. I don't know. Maybe if we know we can't use them there, we will go and invest many of them. But I don't know how many we have to hold on to for that. We are almost to Codex here. Another rift. Holding on to 40 secrets would be plenty. Use 6 to increase stats. Okay, in that case, I think I'll increase Veils. Because Veils checks have been coming up a lot, and our Veils is not very high, comparatively. Or we could stack mirrors, try to leave on good stats to... Maybe mirrors, actually, yeah. Just to be more observant about things. Anyway, let's go get our lamentable relic here. Trade that in for 3... Oh, yeah, 3 unread logs, which is great. And get our mirrors up. Who, pray tell, would give us mirrors? Is it you? Yes. Our first officer. Both of whom we have yet to complete with, so... let's tell her a few words of what you've learned, and she will do the same. Thoughtful, focused advice. She says little, but each word is placed like a pin in a map. So, down to 40. And we have now 89 mirrors with officers and whatnot here added to it. But yeah, that is our business done in Codex. I suppose we may as well head over to Wither since we're up here. No point in passing by. Well, we could go here instead and possibly get something going on. Maybe a God's attention here. Salt. I think we said we had stone. Maybe we don't. But one of them, at least, we can probably get at the House of the Question here. Yeah, Salt's attention. Ah, damn. That'll use a secret. I should have saved one. We'll gain Salt's attention, though. And, right. That used our Something Awaits Us. Actually, no. We already used our Something Awaits Us, so of course we didn't have any to use here. And we will leave Wither slightly more attendant. Higher stats will help with the checks in Dahoot as well. Yeah, that's why I ended up switching to mirrors, because I think Dahoot checks are with mirrors. Ooh, and let's take on a Lifeberg here, I think. They have excellent food stores, which means we will not have to buy them. One is mirrors, one is veils. Ironically, the harder one is veils. Ah, crap. Oh well, not much we can do there. Is he quite done yet? Oh, he is not. I thought he was backing away. He's actually charging. Ah! Oh god. Wow, and he hits like a absolute tank, which considering his size makes sense, but go do him. And grab supplies. 4 fuel, 4 supplies. Not too bad. That'll actually have our needs met for our next trip to Dahoot, I think. We shouldn't need to stop off at Rack to go get anything there. Especially as we did not use the song, since we are holding on to that every time to get our escaped composer's prisoner friend out. While we are here, we may as well explore Venderbite. Ah, some more ruins. Or we could have a picnic. We'll explore. Ah, and find a cache. Which has fuel. Always welcome. Always nice. I think we will hold on to everything here, though. And head on back down to Fallen London. Will we take on this random pirate ship? Only if he gives us extreme trouble. Going to be a problem, my friend? No. Seems he elected to live. But we really just need to get good RNG at Dahoot, both with unread logs and stuff, as well as with the calendar stuff. It's kind of the only way we're going to get to 20. Though we do have that Drowny Song in Counterpoint. If we get ourselves real enthralled, then we might be able to use that to get everything settled. Why did I return to Fallen London? Ah, right. To head to our lodgings and read the morning papers. 1 supply, 1 recent news, and a little bit of terror reduced. And what do we have anything in our study? We have a captivating treasure to add to the collection. Or to convert our outlandish artifacts there. Also heal the ship. Yes, we do need to heal the ship here. That'll be in London. Nice and proper. that, I think we head to Hoot here. We could buy the Z-Side Mansion. I think somebody at one point mentioned that the only thing that gives is more heirloom spots, and we don't have that many heirlooms here. We don't have that many heirlooms to create, so I think we'll hold off on that, especially since it would take up our considerable wealth, pretty much all of it. And more restful nights per sleep. I mean, we've been doing okay on restful nights. We've not been doing terribly, and we don't actually have that much Nightmare's Menace left to begin with. Really, the only thing I want to do is get this Dahoot stuff settled, and I think I could be okay with everything else. Maybe with the Haruspecie, or the Haru specs, rather. I wouldn't actually mind getting her stuff sorted out. Now that I know what she wants, honestly, I'm even more invested. This is why I've stopped saying that we're going to end this chapter, because every time that I think we're done, every time that I think we've completed everything that is interesting to find, there's always more. And speaking of more, some bones. That'll probably give a lamentable relic, an outlandish artifact collection. Let's just scavenge them. Yeah, nothing. It seems that nothing of value remains. You scour the Z-bed, upturning once human fragments, a fractured skull whose teeth appeared to have been forcibly removed, a tibia hollowed and sucked dry of marrow, a single copper band on a hand severed at the wrist and plucked of fingers. The Z has been cruel. One echo for us, and a bit of terror. Shame. Wait a minute, is that? Oh no, I thought that was an Irrepressible here. But that is definitely not over by us. Oh, wow. That undergalley really going after us. But we will go ignore that and dock at rack. Almost crashing into the walls, but not quite. We will buy supplies, might as well. Along with fuel. And I'll actually top up on supplies over fuel here. Since we are kind of using that more up with our extended crew size. We got that for combat reasons, but we didn't end up losing anybody. So we've just kind of been sailing around with them after all that time. Now to Dahoot. The long, sort of empty trip to Dahoot. We will go try to sink some Z-beasts if we come into contact with them. Thalites are a little tough to do. So we may try to sink something a little bit more doable that fulfills that requirement. Or the Fading Horror specs. Of course, we have to stumble upon them first, and we seem to be kind of SOL for that. Ooh, something up here. Is it a beastie or a... Ah, no. I think that is violent. And something further north, but that's a little too far out of our way for me to ponder grabbing. I want to finish off this Dahoot stuff before we start looking into the abysses, because I'm very afraid that the abyss will end our run, but... Oh, right, those are dangerous weeds on the bottom of the sea, those red things. Yeah, but as I was saying, I wanted to finish up with the Dahoot stuff, and I guess at this point the Gant Pole stuff, before we started looking to abysses, but considering the difficulty we're having here, we may just start getting them on the trips, on the treks. I don't know what to expect there. I don't know if there's a further map. I really don't know. Ooh, a mine has been placed here. That's not nice. But we will go and stay a little while here. Or first visitors, then secret places. Then the crypt. Clarity at 13. Lucky for the calendar? Yes, finally, some luck. 18. I think this is one of the first times we've actually succeeded at this. It is every season and none. Your crewmates have different ideas from yours. One says it is October, another points out that you are just coming up on spring, another points out that the roses are blooming, so it must be summer. They've been blooming all year long, haven't they? How long have you been here? Okay. Time to read an unread log and be lucky. Fantastic. 23 clarity, we can do this. Ah, so it must be this. We have nothing awaits you. Yes. Yes. Let's do this. Consider attending the midwinter emptying of the prison. The drownings gather at the iron latticework gate. Will you join them? Yes, we will. Prisoners remain until they beg to be drowned. At midwinter, the inhabitants of Dehoot go below to see which prisoners are ready to leave the breathable water. They sing songs of failure and disgrace, and then the drownies accept applications for escape. Drownies process through some hallways. Some of the prisoners weep, others refuse to look from their cells, some beg to be released. Let's sing a song of broken hulls here. Crack the prison walls here where a primly dressed lady sits bolt upright. You sing and the cell walls crack as though it had smashed against a rock. The lady meets your eyes, then swims through the wall into the darkness. The guards, fumbling at the keys, cannot open her cell door fast enough to follow. The drownings are less angry than you might have expected, but they evict you from the rest of the festival. There's no place for you here. They have other drownings to perform. When you reach your ship again, you find the lady hiding in the rocks nearby. I was on my way to Rosegate, she says. I beg you'll give me passage. Did my composer friend send you? I thought I recognized the tune. He always said he had a song in mind that could have gotten us both out of there, if only he could concentrate long enough. It was good of him to send you, though. Oh dear. I'm not in love with him. Do you think that was what he was after? I just want to finish the voyage I was on. Forgive me, I don't usually talk so much, but there has been a long silence in that prison. We did it. We finally freed the prisoner of Dehoot. And we, of course, have been kicked out here. But we still have access to the shop, which is great. I was kind of worried they would revoke our access here. So now we need to bring her down to Rosegate, she mentioned. We may as well do that. Yeah, we can always go to the Chelon at a different time, the Gant Pole. We haven't seen any Z-Beasts to send to the Gant Pole, so it's as good a time as any to head down to Rosegate. And that is also underwater, so we'll just stay here, kind of searching for Z-Beasties, see if we can send anything to the Gant Pole to head back there. Our apprenticeship with her has been long in the making. I'm not quite sure what level we have to be at. We are at 5, which I do believe is more. I think every time we send one there, it must come up with a new one. I think you are a Z-Beast, a Tristelegant. Oh, you're a creepy one, aren't you? Oh, and a fast one at that. Not fast enough. Uh-oh. That did not finish it off. Not in the slightest. Oh! Dang. That will, though. And we've just defeated the Tristelegant. Tristelegant. It spins as it dies, jetting boiling water from each of its maws with a noise like 100 mishandled kettles. A dark foamed vortex forms. And we'll let this beast, too, sink to the Gant pole. Which will give us a little bit of terror, but oh well. Just so you know, the best thing that you can get from the prison thing other than her is if you're not very enthralled, you can get a prisoner. Otherwise not very useful. Okay, well that's good to know. What is this down here? Some more torpedo components. Not using them, but oops. Especially if we miss it. Not really using these, but in the event that we have to use them for anything, we will have plenty. And Rosegate is still further south. And we do have to curve around Rosegate. It is only enterable from one side, I do believe. Why do you like the ship? Oh, why do I like the ship? Mostly because it has tons of health. It's got a decent amount of cargo space. This is the only ship we've ever had other than the starter ship. I know there are more, but we got this one as a reward for a quest. And the fact that it gives 50 total stat points distributed across various stats and everything. So it is a pretty nice ship. We are also running out of oxygen here, which isn't great. I think we should be able to make it in, though. To Rosegate. That should top us off. Okay. Rosegate after the cigar. Colored lights still shine down on the gleaming counter. The rich aroma of cigars still permeates the air, but the ever-full ashtrays are missing, and there's nothing new on display. So, what has happened to Rosegate now that we've sent the tobacconist out? Take a pamphlet. Nearly printed histories of the shop are stacked high on one of the display cases. A notice encourages visitors to take one. They have not been changed since your business here. Oh. Well, I guess we'll go grab that for the port report. Pamphlet describes Rosegate as a cigar shop with a factory on the upper floor, still true. Here they produce and sell an unparalleled variety of cigars. They no longer produce cigars here. The tobacconist is described as a world-renowned respected for his dedication to his craft and the brilliance of his creative vision. His dedication is well beyond doubt. His pamphlet boasts that his genius will forever alter the tobacconist's art. Not implausible. And, I guess we'll go and drop off the prisoner from Dehoot. She did want to go here. Not quite what she was expecting, though. Looking around, she looks around her with an expression of mixed eagerness and dismay. This is the destination she has been seeking all this time, but she did not expect to find the shop without its former proprietor. All the same, she says, straightening her back as she often did in the cells of Dehoot, I have seen worse. You may safely leave me here, sir. I need a cheroot and time to consider. She can't reward you, she says, but perhaps the composer in Rack, who arranged her freedom, will be glad to know she was set free. Okay. We've delivered her. And apparently we did that a little too late. We did that such that the proprietor, we've actually delivered him to Fallen London, I think. Or maybe it was the Iron Republic. One of them went one way and the other went the other. Because his apprentice, he actually used skin from him to create the cigar. And the apprentice was very well incensed with that issue, with that. So he didn't stick with the proprietor anymore, the tobacconist. So there is some green stuff here. What does this actually do? Terror and a hunger reduction. Okay, that's not bad. Viric Radiance, the green is. Over the next hour, the vegetables in your galley sprout leafy frondular growths. Not bad. Completed many storylines already in this playthrough. Yes, we are practically at the end of this captain. The first successful end, hopefully, that we will get here. All we had left was Dehoot, which we have finished, and the Gant Pole with the Fading Haruspecs, which we are almost finished with. I think we need to send a few more back there. We are kind of giving up on the Merciless Mediste and the Carnelian Exile. We have gotten rather confused here. We will go... Let's try gathering up the bones this time. Yeah, Lamentable Relics, which is really not valuable to us, as you can see. We have a ton here that we do not need. You and your crew don suits and descend to the Z floor. The bones have been badly treated. Most are little more than splintered fragments. Occasionally, a spinal column still cleaves to a skull like a long tail, or torso remains intact. You gather up what you can. Back in the Zub, you throw a shroud over the sorry remnants. Okay. Well, that option's still not great. The second option, I probably assume is a matter of chance. But it's still not great. That's just echo, which we don't really need all that much. The latter of the options, or the last rather of the options, is unknown for those bones. And we need to head north up to Rack. And then we'll stop off and fall in London. We actually have a fair bit of terror this time. We haven't returned with this much terror in quite some time. Oh, got a turn. I think that is actually solid. Yep, damn. That is actually solid. There's another putter pony, which we do know is just a research vessel because of the one that we accidentally sunk. There's a predatory ship here. A wreck ship, but we will leave them. I believe we should be almost up to Rack. Yes, there it is. Just on the outskirts of our vision. What's your relationship with the Carnelian exile like currently? The number. I don't know. Let me check when we get into Rack here. So, the Carnelian exile, we are nowhere. We don't know anything about the name which burns, though. And we really don't know how. So I'm kind of just going to leave that storyline off by the wayside, along with the Merciless Medistes. Have your terror up to 70-ish underwater. No, not a chance. I will not take on that. What was it? The Constant Companion? Heck no, am I not going to go for him. Follow an echo through the halls. Many wreckers sing, but none quite like this. Careful, trespasser, a wrecker warns you as you approach. He escaped from Dahoot. Mind your manners or you might lose an ear. Well, we've rescued your friend. Though I will take this, I do think. Probably not, actually. Tell the escaped composer about his friend. She's rescued from Dahoot and safely in Rosegate now. The latest news. You report on the escaped prisoner on your journey together on her arrival in Rosegate. The composer listens intently. She wasn't the despairing kind. Her courage kept me sane as well. Perhaps you've wondered how I came to escape without her. He continues without meeting your eye. The Drownies kept me a long time, hoping I would choose to drown as well. When they saw I was not bending, they offered me freedom if I would compose a special song for them. One that would sound less alien to human ears than drowning music, but that would create a longing for the cold and dark of the deep Z. I did this, and they set me free. But since writing the song, I have not wanted to leave the Z floor. I have family in London, but it seems so far away, so loud and brightly lit. Better to stay here, where there's nothing to jangle up the melodies I am hearing in my mind. It seems that he was infected by the desire to stay on the Z floor in the cold and dark of the deep Z as his song intended. So we gained a secret, we gained a Z story, and we gained 3 extraordinary implications. And we'll go grab his song. Might as well have it. Just in case it's used for anything else, I kind of doubt it will, and we'll hold on to the Drowny song in counterpoint as well. Let's go check the city here. What shall we do? He was the architect of his own imprisonment. You are not incorrect. I can let you know how to continue the Carnelian Exiles quest. It definitely seems like an endgame thing, though. Oh, okay. If it's just another ending, we've got plenty of endings to choose from already. I think we are pretty dead set on getting Aestival set up as a kingdom. But to do that, we do need to get back over there. We have plenty of supplies. We are going to the Gant Pole next. I think we'll just top up on fuel here. Say that many. And then to fall in London to get our terror reduced. Then off to the Gant Pole. And what are you? What mystery ship art thou? A mystery ship indeed. One that I do not care to deal with. Whoa, what is that? What? Why is there so much darkness here? What the heck is this? What? I have never seen this before. What is going on by Mutton Island? What is that? Look at the logbook. Oh, God. Yeah, let's flee the nightmare. The darkness draws in. The bosun calls it the lady's mantle. What the hell? I didn't even notice the logbook. Thank you for mentioning it. We'll run away from the nightmare here. Nightmare strength down to 0. Wow, that is creepy. God, that is terrifying. At least it didn't increase our terror too much. They were creaking, though. Did we lose ship's hull from that? I don't know. That was spooky, though. You are not welcome here. Yeah. Didn't lose any hull. Okay, so that's just kind of a spooky sort of thing then. Wow. Okay, that was unsettling. That was genuinely one of the first things that unsettled me so badly in a while. I suppose it was kind of a fool's solution to go back in after we found it the first time. I heard the creaking though and stuff, and that was just creepy. We'll go to the alarming scholar. Ah, she has a present for us, which is supplies. Always lovely. And give her some extraordinary implications since we have 4. We'll hold on to 3, which is more than we usually keep, but we might as well. And go to our lodgings. Read the papers. Always nice. Do we sleep first? This will reduce us by 20. Yeah, we sleep. We rest first. Gain 2 restful nights. Lose 15 terror. And then spend some time with family. And just enjoy their company. Always lovely. Okay. God, that was spooky. I think we're going to start looking into the abysses next. Whoops. Not if we set off like that, though. Do we want to bring anything to the Gant Pole? What do they want? What do they wish for? Chelinet, caskets of sapphires, whispering trophy cases, carboys of primordial shrieks. The Gant Pole. Where's the Gant Pole here? Here it is. Can trade, right, can trade the live specimens for strange catches. Weren't you supposed to drop off silk? We didn't end up getting silk. We apparently can't buy silk outright in Savior's Rocks. You actually have to trade them for supply, which isn't a fantastic trade. Especially since we need so many of them. Heart of the Tree of Ages, Harlot Fries. Yeah, nothing great to trade there. So I guess we won't trade anything to the Gant Pole. We will stop avoiding abysses, though. We will start entering them, seeing what's down there. Maybe there's a whole other system down there, a whole other undersea? I don't know. It's already dark as it is on the bottom of the Z floor there, but it's there may be something even more. Or maybe it's like the surface where it's just kind of text input, sort of entries. We'll see. Looking up the Carnelian Exile, it seems like it's a path to an endgame thing, and is super risky / will hurt your stats to continue in it, so best not to worry about her unless you want to get her ending. Ah, okay. Yeah, so that is kind of what I was expecting with the endgame sort of thing, because we have no idea what she's talking about when she talks about the names prison, and it really seemed like she wants a whole lot of knowledge about the Sunless Sea for us to even kind of breach it, so not gonna worry about that too much. Let's head out to the Gant Pole again, though. And you know what? Let's submerge right off the bat. Check out the closest abyss to Fallen London. Here, in case we have negative effects happen, we can at least turn back. Oh boy. Lots of things here, but let's go check out the abyss. A chasm gapes below your submarine, descending into unknown fathoms. Let's dive for the first time. Deeper. Your helmsman gives you a questioning look. You say nothing. You are unaccustomed to repeating yourself. With a trembling hand, she steers your vessel down. You sink into the abyss like a coffin into a grave. Stony walls rise about you. Your vessel's light picks out beds of undulating anemones. There we go. The abyss of graves. Shelves have been cut into the rock wall. Some are large enough to hold ancient waterlogged ships, crusted with long-dead barnacles. Others are smaller, holding pairs of clay coffins and a smattering of grave goods, jugs and bowls. Ooh, okay. So we can apparently rest in one of the graves. A true zailor will find the Z as comfortable as any bed, it is said. Raise our veils by 20, but reduce our hearts by 10. Oh, interesting. So we can actually trade stats here. We can depart, and I presume that is how we leave, or we can dive deeper with the possibility of damaging our hull. I am kind of interested in making the trade here. Hearts is nice and all, but I think I'd rather have veils instead. You know what? Let's try not to reduce that. I wonder if there are rights for all of the stats here, because if you did, since it only reduces it by 10, it is technically means that you should be able to get everything gained if you get all 5 combined together. Don't think there are any officers that increase veils. No, you're thinking of pages. Veils is increased by our engineers, I want to say. Or maybe that's doctors. Yeah, veils are increasable. I think I'm going to dive deeper, though. There's something even further down in the darkness. And a success. Deeper still, your helmsman's response is unjustifiably foul-mouthed, but she assents. Your submarine's pinprick of light shines onto a cliffside, illuminating only a spot of vast inverted cathedral, a fathomless church. Whoa. Fathom King? Tied to ? Ah. Apparently, if we were... Oh, okay. Perform the ritual of solace. A procession of statues lines the Z floor, facing away from the church. They carry coffins on their shoulders. Their march ends at a precipice, descending into a further abyss. Performing the abyssal rituals in the correct order will lead you to a discovery. Interesting. So we apparently need to dive twice and approach her ladyship at 3 and no more than 3. Approaching her ladyship. Who is her ladyship? Interesting. Well, we can't really do anything there. We've seen enough of the darkness for now, so we'll ascend. Rising, with every meter climbed, you feel the probability of you meeting an untimely death decline from an absolute certain to just likely. Do we do this? I think we do. Low risk challenge. You don your diving gear. You lie in an empty shelf cut from the stone. Your crew will watch over you in 7-minute shifts. They'll have you out before 21. You close your eyes. The Z weighs heavy. It pulls you down. She lies... Ooh, what is this? She lies next to you. The black hem of her skirt curls like clouds of ink. In the dark, you can just make out her pale lips. Her fingers stroke your hair. She speaks, you respond. She asks your name. She tells you her own. You awaken back on your submarine. The ship's doctor holds your wrist in one hand, a stopwatch in the other. He shows you the face. 21 minutes. Exactly. Wow. That is super interesting. There are 4 different types of abyss. I assume you have to approach them in the right order. The rite of feasting has been partaken. Or we have, rather, partaken in it, the rite of feasting. And we can forsake it. Presumably that would reduce our stuff back. But I think we're going to be done with that. Let's depart here. Away, you drift steadily up and out of the maw. Wait, so that must have been the lady's mantle that they were talking about. Wow, that's fascinating. A submarine wreck. Let's go search it. Apparently... if we had more terror, there'd be a problem. Let's go check it out, I suppose. We get a Z story. You don your diving suit. You ensure your airline has plenty of slack in case the wreck shifts. You requisition pry bars and saws. The wreck's hull yields with a dull clang. Inside, gloomy steel corridors, my goodness, I can't speak today, extend through the tilting vessel. The dead submarine is empty, but for its captain, still in his seat, his jaw hangs open. The fish have had his eyes. You move behind him to examine the room. Your navigator bangs on the cabin door twice. The captain is facing you. Ooh. You depart quickly. Yeah. Okay. He's alive and ghostly. Let's head out of here with the Z story. That is totally a fine option to get from him. And actually, ooh, can I make it before? I don't think I can. Damn. Okay. If I had sailed over that, I do believe it would have reduced our hunger to 0. But we need to head to the Gant Pole, which means heading along this way. I really don't know if these options here actually make me go any faster. If these sea currents change anything. Seems to be a lot by the Z floor, though. Oh, a wreck ship over there. Some more light. Violent light. Man, he is really trying. But we will leave him in the dust, I think. We don't need to bother taking him on. Ooh, and another wrecked ship properly, not a wreck ship. We'll do the same thing. Gain 2 Z stories, and it is still the same one, the captain facing us. We actually will have to cross the entire Z floor, so we may not have enough oxygen to get there. We may stop off for a short time at Nook, just long enough to gain our oxygen back. Another ping. I'm not sure where from. Oh, there it is. Another wreck ship. Wow. Lots of them. Oh, and a survivor, too. Rescue a survivor. The wreck is recent, and a rhythmic knocking from within indicates someone is alive down there. Burial by Z. Oh, no. Failure. You and several crew don diving suits and hurry to help. As you try to clear a safe path to the survivor, though, his struggles grow frenzied. By the time you reach him, he has foolishly consumed the last of his air. There is nothing to retrieve except his remains and last belongings. Supplies, terror, and a lamentable relic. What a way to go. One of the worst. Well, that's a bit of a shame. We are about halfway across the map, though. Our oxygen is just about to run out, but luckily, we are arriving at Nook here. So let's go dock here. That'll get our fuel or our oxygen set back up. Do we need anything? Supplies are cheapish here. Not quite as cheap as Dahoot, but we're not going to Dahoot. Yeah, I think we may as well get them here. Let's say up to 20. And I suppose we may as well get fuel while we're here as well. Let's go to the Z floor. Keep on our way to the Gant Pole. Ooh, 2 equidistant pings. Let's see if we're lucky. Nope. First one is the color. Second one is oxygen, which actually wouldn't have been half bad. There is a vortex here, though. Where does the vortex pull from the bottom of the seafloor, though? Maybe to the ladies' castles. This should be the connate, I want to say. Yeah, judging by the boxiness of that shape, and it'll be the connate. I think there's something on the other side of the stream. Oh, yet another wrecked ship. Wow. All over the place today. Retrieve sunken treasure. The remains, the cabins of the wrecked are intact. Something of value may have survived. Ah, we've got to go in. Oh, no, we don't. We just grabbed the heavy wooden crate, which turned out to be fuel. And what further do you have for us? Ah, more torpedoes. Four different types of abyss. You have to approach in the right order. Tetris. I have no idea what Tetris is referring to. Clearly I've missed something in between when that was actually typed in and now. I believe to our right is the Chellinet, which means, yep, there's the Irrepressible. The Gant Pole will be just up here. We do have hull here. Could take that on. Uses it to barter to get bitcoins. That is a Tarkov joke for those not in the know. Yeah, but let's go assist the Fading Haruspecs. Another 5 intriguing snippets. Oh, we need to give this to the Alarming Scholar. We've got 12. We've got a ton of those. And 5 Memories of Distant Shore. Nothing has changed here. Seriously, what? How do I progress you onwards? Ask about the Traveler. Nothing new. Art of Apprenticey and Haruspicy at 6. Any new questions here? No, nothing. Dang. Yeah, so I really don't know how we're going to do this. I think... actually, before we do that, I think we're going to go after that Irrepressible here. And let's equip the aft weapon to do so. Just to give us a little bit more oomph here. We've got a fair bit of hull. We did take a bit of damage, but they don't have that much health, so I think we should be good to fight them down. Maybe this will progress the Merciless Modistes quest here. Can we actually see them? They are very much hidden in the shadows of this area. You know what? We'll just do that. Oh God, they have a real So yeah, no wonder they don't. They don't have much health. They hit like an absolute truck. Luckily, so did we. Seriously, like a full 18-wheeler big rig. That's what they hit like. Jesus. It doesn't help that I can barely see them. Like, at all. It is... God. And every time they hit us, too, it resets our firing solutions. Luckily, we've got this, so... at least hit that. We can't really swing past them to, God, to fire our rear weapon. They always get a hit off before we do. Not this time, though. Set your bloody firing solutions. Good God. They hit like an absolute freaking truck. They are just about dead, though. Oh, can we get them? We can. There we go. Irrepressible down. So was that a boss ship? I am going to guess so? Well, I hope the Merciless Modiste has something to say about that. Alright. You've defeated the Irrepressible. Cheers reverberate around the bridge. You've done it. The Untersee's most feared vessel lists and founders. Lists and founders. What? No clue. With clouds of multicolored gases escaping through rents in her hull, her stained glass portholes wink and flash like the eyes of a beast. Wounded, but still dangerous. Apparently, we could improve our iron if we had not had it so high. Let's go, lists and flounders, probably. I still don't know what that means. But let's send a boarding party here. Let's see if the Merciless Modiste has something to say to them. Take anything that's not nailed down, and definitely take anything that is nailed down. Here, don't forget the crowbar. Tasteful, skipper. Demented, yet tasteful. It is not often that a boarding party returns better dressed than when they left. Your crew return with bulging loot sacks, yards of silk neckwear, and an extraordinary array of waistcoats. Some even penetrated into the inner boudoir. One pocketed a pair of eyeball-sized pearls, which, she tells you with a wink, she found on the table de nuit? I don't know how to pronounce French. Let's see. Let me put on the best/worst French accent I can think of. On the table de nuit. Yeah, there we go. Among the treasures and drifts of chiffon, that's probably another French thing. You find perhaps the greatest prize of all, yellowing sheaves of Z shanties of a kind you have never heard before, as bright as pennies and as mad as hunger. The music rings throughout your vessel. Who knew victory could be so tuneful? 2 drowning pearls, a lump of blue scintillic, another one, 1 hearts, and 1 mirrors. And the Merciless Modiste had nothing to say. Sounded more German. I tried. And I think we actually have to surface here. Uh-oh, if we can. Because we were about to run out of oxygen. Yeah, that's the Irrepressible done. Nothing from the Merciless Modiste. I wonder if she has something to say if we talk to her now that we've sunk the Irrepressible. We'll go and dock in Khan's shadow. And see if she has anything to say. If not, we will go for endgame proper here. Yeah, this obviously doesn't have anything. You. Alright, we can speak to her. Yeah, nothing has changed. Well. She truly is heartless, that Merciless Modiste. We will set sail back to Fallen London, and we will prepare to obtain a whole lot of stuff. So, we're going to be turning in all of that, those bits and bobs that we've picked up, that we've kind of been sitting on. I think I'm going to go for a true captain's end here. I will be turning in all but one of our captivating treasures. All but one of those. I will be dumping secrets, I think. Is this actually endgame? Yes, this is actually endgame. I can think of no more reason to go onwards. There are secrets, yes, but secrets unknown to me, and that seem to give off end paths that I do not wish to take. I probably should have thrown on the mile breaker in our aft slot instead of that weapon. What about the horror specs? Well, we've stopped. We can't get any more. We have been learning haruspicy for ages. We have 6 haruspicy, and I have no idea how high we have to get in the art for her to actually tell us anything about the 6th witness. Yeah, no clue. We'll go put on that mile breaker again. Guiders Morn, since we're here. Yeah, we'll lure those people to rack. Might as well. And, what the heck? Let's explore the Morn here. Ah! And we can go and reflect on things. We can reflect on our sweetheart, our future, or pray to salt. Let me look it up. Okay, yeah. You look it up. Tell me if it's distant, what exactly it tells us, because that's really the only mystery that I have left to solve that I am intent on solving. That Fading Harspecs there. I would love to get her stuff done, but she just is a iron wall of non-progression so far. And she's both open and forthcoming, and at the same time not at all open and forthcoming, just because we can't actually ask about the things that we wish to ask for in any other ways. But in terms of reflection here, what do we reflect on? Our sweetheart, our future. You know what? Let's pray to Salt. We know the words to speak, and here its eyes are on you. 2 pages and 2 mirrors gained. Always nice. Always plentiful. Something distant. Look east, where the Z and the roof are one in the mist. Your gaze unlocks the horizon like a puzzle box. Beneath is reconfigured and transfigured. It lasts a single heartbeat. We've lost Salt's attention. Easy enough to get, though. I think it's just Z stories and some cash? I think that's it over in Wither, in the House of the Question. So that's at least easy to get. What is your Gantt pole, the Fading Harspecs' number? No clue. I would assume that would be in the journal. Check out A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Here it is. 5. Number there is 5. I don't know what that number means. I assume that's something for tracking's sake. There are a few numbers that I just don't pay attention to, since they do seem like story locks. But that's all of us done at Guiders Morn. There's nothing left to do here, I do believe. Oh yeah, then you're at endgame with her. Literally, the next beast will be different. Oh, okay. In that case, well, we'll still sail back to Fallen London, since we are already halfway, and we do need to get our ship repaired. But in that case, we will send a Z-Beastie her way, and see what she has to say about him. I'm also interested in increasing our stats. I don't know if I need secrets. I feel like I'll need secrets to start a kingdom. But I'm just trying to think of what could possibly be required, because we have seen what happens to kingdoms that are not ready to be kingdoms. Notably, Pigmote Isle. Maybe I need more iron? I feel like 136 is a lot. You want to increase your haruspicy as much as possible, though. I mean, our haruspicy is being increased as much as possible. We get more haruspicy every time we send back a sea beast, I think. Unless that's tied to, unless you're talking about our kingdom. And at that point, I have no idea how haruspicy and the kingdoms could affect each other. You want all your stats as high as possible. I mean, we've been trying. Talking about the haruspecs. We've been trying. We've got iron up there. Mirrors is okay. Oh. And they are coming here. Well, Ministry of Public Decency, we don't have anything. Don't have anything for you. There we go. Lost our menaces. Alarming Scholar has another gift for us. Lovely. Thank you very much. And I have gifts for you in my intriguing snippets for you. And that'll make me some cash as well. I've got 11. I think I will hold on to 3. Just in case I need them for anything else. What's the difference between haruspicy and haruspecs? The haruspecs practices haruspicy. So haruspicy is the art, and the haruspecs is the artist, effectively. What's your apprenticeship to haruspicy? That is also pretty high. Let me fix this up. Oh, and I actually got an achievement here. Old and happy far off things. Did something change here? I wasn't actually checking that. Yeah, no flavor text. No extra flavor text. 4 and very last one here. 3. That's really disappointing. I was hoping haruspicy was a spice. Yeah, not quite. The spices in the Sunless Sea are a little different than on the surface. We've actually not been trading spices. We've mostly been trading... well, I guess there is muter salt. That is sort of a spice. And zoop. That is a food, of all things. But muter salt is really the only spice there is. Sacks of dark drop coffee beans. Kind of a spice? Not really, though. You don't really add coffee to foods, do you? I don't know. Are coffee beans used for anything, literally anything other than coffee? I have no clue. We are back here. We want our terror reduced, of course. Which we shall. And then we will, I suppose, check on... Oh, not the Alarming Scholar. The Voracious Diplomat, because we have moves in the Great Game for her. Maybe we'll hold on to those. Last I checked, no one said we couldn't. For the coffee beans. Hey, if you want to chew just flat coffee beans, that's up to you, man. That is not my cup of tea, though. You know what? We'll just give one more. One more of those moves in the Great Game to the Voracious Diplomat. Roser's Wharf. Wants an Extraordinary Implication. And an unread log. Color me lucky. I think we'll trade the unread log. I feel like Extraordinary Implications would probably be better. What's stat for haruspicy? Oh, right. I didn't actually look at that. So that is probably 6, I want to say. Yeah, 6. Apprenticeship in haruspicy. We will go and repair our ship. And how is our favor doing? 35. I don't know if I need more. I really wish they had... I'm afraid to start a kingdom here. Because I feel like it's going to be something like Pigmote Isle, where I have to fight off invaders, but I don't know what stats I'm going to have to use. And my stats aren't honestly all that good at this point. I don't know. I do not know. But We set off for the horror specs again, I think. We have Milebreaker on? Yes, we do. Taking on Z-Beasts is not quite that terrible. We could go down into the abysses again. We mentioned that there are 4, but I'm kind of dead set on getting that horror spec stuff done. It is kind of the only heading we have. You know, I suppose... oh god. I suppose we can check out the Abyss to see if it has a similar one. Ah, okay, so we actually only have access to one right ever at a time. Or maybe just one right from here. So we'll just depart. But one right from there will mean we can only get one of our stats beneficially improved. And I think Veils is still a pretty good stat to have improved of all the stats that we have. I want to go find Z-Beasts. That is a wreck ship. No need to fight him. If my math is right, I don't think there's any way you can fail the stat checks. Check the formula on the wiki. Oh, for the kingdom. Okay. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing to know, because that actually puts me greatly at ease. I think we will actually stop off at Rack here for the horror specs. Oh, okay. That is also still good. I mean, that's good to know. Let me check the kingdom. You don't have to check the kingdom if you don't want to. That's not the worst thing. Ah, right. We sent our wreckers off, which means we get more scrap and lose a bit of terror. Could have a drink here. We don't really have any terror, though. Let's just open up that. Does the escape composer have anything new for us? No, he does not. Okay. Well, we will get supplies and fuel. Enough for the journey at hand here. I think that should be good. Good with quite a bit of safety net as well. Let's go make our way over to the Gant Pole, hopefully finding a sea beast to send there as well. Kind of don't know where Z-Beasts pop up, but they do sort of show up randomly, and they also patrol certain areas. So I kind of don't think we'll be stumbling into any until we get to the eastern edge of the map here. Maybe we'll want to swing further north? I really don't know. Nothing on radar, though. Not for a long time, that. This should be principles here. Oh yeah, and I think we definitely do go a little bit faster with the current. That'll be Scrimshander to our south. So where are some sea monsters here? We haven't seen anything. Though I am noticing that our oxygen is not doing so hot, so we may dock up at Dahoot. Ah, here we go. Another one of these guys. Do we do that before or after Dahoot? I think we do it before. Or rather, we dock at Dahoot and then take him on. Hopefully he will follow us here. Come on. Keep on me. Keep on our tail. It's not just a stat check to found the colony, it's a much longer process. Oh, okay. That's kind of what I figured. But I wasn't quite sure. I assumed we would have to fend it off from stuff, but we shall see here. We are here. We don't really need to do anything. We're just here for your oxygen. First step is to get the thing for the Grand Geode, right? Yes, that is correct. We do need to get that. Where has that sea monster gone down here? Then we just back away. Oh god, back away faster. Ow. What the heck was that? Yeah, it's a little glitchy. There we go. That'll be the Triskelion sent. We will send him to the Gant pole. Seems to be more like it's a get X, Y, and Z stuff, which is easier with higher stats. Oh, I see. So this is actually the beginning of the end. Okay. Well, that's good to go. Good to know, rather. So I guess we will have another stream after this where we collect that. Speaking of XYZ stuff, that makes me think of coordinates. And you know what coordinates we have yet to find? The treasure over at the Empire of Hands. We do need that. So let's probably do that here. We just give you the coordinates if you want. I am getting to that point. I think the coordinates would probably be acceptable. I think I'll show up there and give it a good old honest college try. Oh, did the Irrepressible come back? Oh, look at that! Looky there. Apparently we can fight the Irrepressible all we want. No wonder the Merciless Mediste didn't have anything interesting for us to say. Or correct you with any incorrect numbers in the clues. Yeah, that would work. I would like to get it properly. I am totally stuck. God, our ship is wide. Oh no. Yeah, this is different. You were totally right. Your return is met by the sight of the recently wounded Triskelion oozing its last on the small beach. It has not been here for long. It does not have long left. Assist the fading Haruspex. 2 weeks, she whispers. You must do it. The fading Haruspex is unlikely to survive this final divination and cannot hold out for any other beast. This is your only chance to get any answers you may be seeking. The greater your knowledge of her art, the more likely you are to be successful. I hope I'm successful here. The beast is strong. Its blood pumps thick and hard. You are performing haruspicy. Okay. It looks like we are pretty much set here, though. Fading Haruspex has little time left, nor does the Triskelion. You pick up the ceremonial knife. She squeezes your other hand tight, whispering what little she can to guide you through the vivisection process. There we go. Now, we have a sure chance to search for patterns here. I think plucking an organ would probably end this. Let's search for patterns first. What does the Haruspex see that even her disciples cannot? A nexus of ages, not something in the beast itself, for what it could have seen that directly answers any question you might have. Something deeper, in the tide, in the air. A gossamer thread of connection slowly woven over centuries. Is that it, or is it just in your head? You can see nothing in the viscera. Damn. Oh, I see, and we just continue onwards. Okay, luckily it looks like, yeah, all our stats are here. Let's sort the entrails, I think, next. One by one. In every slice a purpose, no cut ever wasted on unnecessary cruelty. Thread by thread, a picture draws itself on white ivory and in fresh understanding behind your eyes. Oh, and we can keep doing this. Oh, okay. So, secret in bones and blood, no more than 3. You have 2. Final breaths 1, you have 5. And elbow deep in the nearly dead, no more than 3. Let's check the heart, I think. We've already sorted the entrails. Let's dig deeper. Invasive procedures. The foul smell no longer makes you need to retch. The damp heat soaked into your skin through cotton and stitching is as familiar as your own skin. Layers of fat and gristle peel away as you push forward, every cut closer to the prize. Blood obscures the truth. Beast's pulse weakens. There we go. It has little time left. Now, the last bit. Cut the flesh. Reveal what lies inside. Carve the path. A step closer. The Haruspex guides your knife. A careful slice here, a cut there. Viscous blood bubbles under around the blade. Hot, despite the cold blubber under your knuckles. Wipe it clean on a cloth. Open a way to the secret behind flesh and bone. You are on the edge of revelation. You are performing Irrepressible. The beast moans and barely has energy to quiver. In morte, ultima veritas. In death, the final truth. The entrails on the Haruspex's small table finally form a coherent pattern. For a moment, you can see what she sees. And that's it. Oh. And we have to make the option. Do we help the fading Haruspex? Do we help ourselves with our own question? Definitely not. Or do we ask the sixth witness who sent us here in the first place? We ask her question. The entrails hide so many truths. In this moment of clarity, you have just enough time to extract one before the Triskelion thrashes its last. I will ask the fading Haruspex's question here. She can never see her own answer. You can. A question of answers. The entrails show you the core of her pain. A question never meant to be answered in Wither, where the penalty remains exile. All this time she sought one none can refuse to answer. Revenge or validation? It has been so long even she forgets. Oh, the words form in your head, and you speak them, and as you speak them, the color returns to the fading Haruspex's cheeks. Thank you, she whispers, squeezing your hand tight. One more favor, please. Take me home. I have little time left. I would spend it where I belong. I have no money, but I promise to make it worth your while. I've gained a secret, 500 fragments, 10 Z stories. We have a quest. We have ourselves a reason. We're going back to Wither. Back across the Sunless Sea to deliver the fading Haruspex in the twilight of her life. But the one question she was out here to learn. Question that must be answered. And a nightmare which we will immediately ignore. Hey, and that's all our nightmares done. I guess learning of the answers in the death of that Triskelion, learning of the answers that we could gain from all the threads that we've sewn together. I probably reduced our nightmares a little bit, so a weight is lifted, your dreams have passed, that's good. Isn't it? Gained a bit of terror. We are no longer plagued by nightmares. Oh, a thalite? No thank you. Catch me if you can. God, it is pitch black. That phthalate really just disappeared into that, didn't he? We will dive through here. I am going to go as directly to Wither as possible. I don't actually know if the Fading Haruspex is going to make it there. We have had crewmates, quests, and officers before who have had timers. Thinking specifically on the Snow Child and on Mr. Sachs. You've definitely had those who did not last when they said they would not last. And so I will, as directly as possible, go to Wither and Codex here. You should try talking to the Haruspecs if you can. I don't think we can. I don't think she's actually in our crew here. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like she is. Officers? No, she's not in officers. I think we are just carrying her. Which is fine. She has not much life in her left, and so I wouldn't want to waste it by asking her endless questions as she struggles. Antha is here, but we shall pass. We have enough oxygen, I think, to make it to Wither and Codex, or we could just surface. We could really surface at any time. And in fact, I think we will actually need to surface. I may have very greatly miscalculated the oxygen we had left. Palmerston's Reach, there's brimstone on the wind. Good to know. We'll stop off at Codex, get a lamentable relic, trade it in for some 3 unread logs. Might as well, since we have the something awaits us there. Ooh, unless we need something awaits us for the Haruspecs. Let's skip Codex first. We'll go over to Wither, then to Codex. Just so we don't accidentally get caught somewhere without a something awaits us where we could use it instead. Another abyss and snow, it seems. Ah, I see. We do need to head a little more north. Conveniently, that helps us avoid this snow that we're going to run into just by a little bit. Just make sure that we're at the bottom of our log. Okay, so, to Wither. Presumably here. Yes. Behind the great arch over the bay, the pale wastes stretch, white and silent as the face of the moon. From here you can almost imagine they were snow. North of the city, the salt pools fizz with unlikely color. Deliver the fading Haruspecs. After years at the bottom of the Z, she is home. Keeping things rhetorical. The fading Haruspecs' disciples gently guide her onto the dock. Is there anything more beautiful than home, she whispers, then smiles. Don't answer that. Not here. This is a place for questions, not answers. Here, I hope you find this one suitably intriguing. And we've gained a searing enigma for our trouble. That's it? That's everything? Okay. Well, she's made it home. She was exiled from here, so I'm not sure how that's going to go. But she made it home. I guess... Well, let's head to the House of the Question. Do we want to regain Salt's attention? May as well. And let's go use our Something Awaits Us to get more unread logs from Codex. We'll just leave the Lifebergs alone for now. Don't really need to take them on. So I wonder if we can do the Haruspice on our own. I wonder if we can still answer the 6th witness's question. Reading the unread logs here. I wonder if those apes heard about what happened at the Empire of Hands. I wonder if they know what's up. I should probably read the flavor text on that a little bit more. It's kind of a rote trade at this point, so I've been ignoring questioning it too much. Lots of snow over there. I'll pull a little bit further east here as we head down to Fallen London. But that is our questions answered. That is Rack all finished. Or, not rack, sorry. The Gant pole all finished. Fading Haruspex has returned to Wither, where she originally came from, where she was exiled. In which she has retrieved a question that must be answered. To go and use there, presumably. To overthrow the whole thing. I'm sad that I didn't get to see the result of that. I wanted to see what the question was, or at least the responses to it. Because Wither is a place only of questions where it is forbidden to answer. And yet, she has the question that must be answered, and I wanted to see what would go on there. But apparently, all we get are more questions. At least we got a Searing Enigma from her. Let's go and dock here. Yeah, we'll go and let them do their worst because we don't have anything illegal. The Alarming Scholar has more gifts for us. Always kind. And I think we have, unfortunately, no gifts for her. No excess gifts, rather. We may send them off to find a mystery. Maybe that'll be our gift to them. While we're here, we'll go and just spend some time with our family. Our ship is a little bit broken. I'm actually not sure how it got so broken. It must have just been from bumping into things. Oh no, it was the bats. I think they also hit us as well. So, do we go repair it? Nah, we'll be fine. We'll set off first to Rack, then to the main canal, head to the surface, buy up a heck of a lot of food. Like an absolute load of food. Probably more than we can handle, honestly. And we will run all of that to the Grand Geode. We will actually need, now that I think about it, to pick up some more sailors here, because it is vital intelligence, 7 crew, 50 supplies, figurehead of the Eater of Names, and a dread surmise, which we have to get from here, from the Alarming Scholar. So let's really double-check all of our options here. Anything we want to get rid of for some cash. Unread logs would be nice, but probably not. Managed artifacts. Captivating treasures. Colossal flute cores and whatnot. Blue Scintilic. Actually, that may be one that we get, because does that take up our slot? It does not, but I think we don't have any use for it. We have 2 Blue Scintilic. It does not give us 2 refreshers of the ability to reset our firing solutions. I think we're probably good to give her one. Apossian, that's not a hue we often see here. Careful inspection. Thank you, the Department of Paradoxic Optics loves this sort of thing. The vendor biters are far too fond of colors and they can generally outbid us, so that'll give us 800 echo for it at least. And the rest of this, yeah, we don't really need to get rid of. So, it's time to give our Searing Enigma to her, Enigme, for a dread surmise. I smell secrets, searing secrets. Share them with me. I'm close to something. Goodbye, Alarming Scholar. Oh. Oh, God. Delighted laughter. Here, I have the answer. Take it. I have them all. I have all the answers I will ever need. I'll follow them to Frostbound. You can't come. Don't come. Can't come. Don't come. Can't come. Don't come. Proctors burst in and drag the scholar from her office. One shakes a sorrowful head at you. Academics, he sighs, they'll never last. You are left clutching a bundle of scrawled notes. You peep cautiously at the first page. Symbols boil before your eyes. The study seems suddenly terribly bright. No. No! Okay. I guess that's a good thing. We gave her answers. We gave her questions that she could answer. But she also went nuts, which makes it kind of a bad thing. We gained some terror for that, rightly so. But I guess that's our business with... That's our business with the scholar finished. Kind of center off the off her rocker there. Let's give some unread logs here to the Prim Baronet and the Roser's Wharf. Looking for an unread log, he brushes black rose petals from his shoes. The wharf is strewn with them whenever the rose market congregates. His eyes light up. Ah, I've heard of this captain. The baronet would never abandon his gloomy, ivied marsh mansion. But on long evenings he lights a candle and reads accounts of reckless nautical adventures. Then he closes the book, shakes his head, and commends his own good sense. 30 echo for it. Not too bad. Okay. So we have everything, minus that 50 supplies, to go and get our solution from the Commodore in the Grand Geode from the Dawn engine. We don't have the space for that, but we will once we head up there. Honestly, we kind of need to clear out some space. As to how we're going to do that, I'm not sure. So let's see what's taken up by our random stuff. Flares, 1, 2, 3, 4. We could get rid of some scintillic. 3 strange catches as well, and 2 live specimens. So that is a total of 9 taken up by random objects. And then, obviously, the various objects we got from the study take up 5. The Shrine to Stone, the Anatomical Cabinet, the Monstrous Almanac, the Whispering Trophy Case, and the Serene Aquarium. That takes up another 5. So that's 14. Foxfire Candles take up 15. Concealed Compartment and the Secure Compartment, 16, 17. The 2 guns that we have in reserve, 18, 19. A Fluke Core. Colossal Fluke Core. We haven't found a use for. 20. Ooh. We are going to be running on the very edges of what we can carry. We essentially have 10 slots for supplies for ourselves and and fuel, which is not very much to make it all the way down to the Grand Geode with 50 supplies in our hold. Especially that we have to come down and use 20 of them, 22 of them, to be exact, getting up and down from the Humane Canal. This is going to be tight. We're probably going to have to buy all of the fuel that we need in the Humane Canal, exactly. Oh boy. Oh boy, indeed. Okay, well, let's sell some Stillic. Let's sell a bit of that. We'll keep 1 in case of use. Strange catches we can't, unfortunately, get rid of. Not here. We could dump them overboard. We could just assay them. Could sell off our secure compartment. And in fact, I think we shall. Bit of a waste of echo, but we have long since made back up the echo that we used to buy it. So we'll take the cargo space for it instead. Gratis Faber. Expensive. The Caminus Yards, Health Rasher, and Damnation. Both we'll want to keep. Both are useful. The Bandersnatch is equally useful if only we were to have a forward weapon slot. Because that is a fantastic forward weapon. The best, in fact. I suppose we wouldn't send that on to our future captain anyway. We would probably send the deck weapon, since that is pretty good. That is the best deck weapon that we can see. Yeah, let's sell off the Bandersnatch. We can always buy it later. Money is of no value. The space is much more useful. And that'll free up our cargo hold a little bit more. let's head to the surface. Oh, and you know what? Zailors. We need more of you. If they're taking 7, that'll leave us with 18. I guess that's enough to crew the ship. But it runs kind of tight. I'd rather have some spare, especially because we can lose some on the surface. Maybe just grab the 1, 26. That should do us fine. Let's head up to the surface then. I think we're actually going to skip over rack here. We could save a little bit of echo, actually quite a bit of echo, by going to rack for our fuel supplies, but I am more than intent on getting to the Grand Geode, getting our options there traded in. We'll go and skip over this crab. No need to deal with him. Command canal should just be here. Luckily, the speed at which we travel should mean that we don't end up consuming too much food here on the way down. And the fuel efficiency that we have also means that we won't consume too much fuel. So hopefully 5, probably more like a 7 and 3 split of fuel and supplies should be sufficient enough to get us all the way down to the Grand Geode. And we can't stop off for fuel at the very least in the Iron Republic. So we'll get enough here to get us to the surface. We may as well listen for surface gossip, which will give us some visions of the surface. Always lovely. And now we will travel there ourselves. That'll reduce our terror, lose us some fuel. We will head to Naples. And that's where we lost some crew. See, that's what I kind of expected to happen. So, we'll go share our recent news, might as well. Which will gain us some supplies and fuel. Sweet. Along with an intriguing snippet. Fortunately, we can't actually get rid of those for Cash with the Alarming Scholar now that she's gone completely insane, kind of due to our own issues. And now we sit here and purchase supplies until we are at, I'd say 54, 53, 54. Boy, do I wish I could do this in bulk. We're at 20. We can't go over when we're on the surface. We don't have an inventory here. We just have whatever we have. Once we go down is when we'll have to assay anything over what we are currently able to carry. But I think because of the fuel usage in getting down there, we should actually come in just under the wire if we stay relatively relatively on the even with what we're planning on getting here. So almost at 50. Okay. That is 50. We will consume some going down and across, so I think 54. 54 should be fine. And let's get fuel here as well. 14. We use 10 going down and 1 going across, so 16. No, 17 will be our fuel amount. That should be enough to get us going. Should have done this before we came up here and bought all this. Vital intelligence, check. 7 crew, check. 50 supplies, going to be check. Currently check, actually. Figurehead of the Eater of Names, also check. Dread Surmise, check. Time to go to the Grand Geode. Let's go to Avernus. Lost a bit of fuel, but not any of our zailors. And finally, to return below. 1 supply, 10 fuel. Hey, and we just came in under. So I think we'll buy 1 supply here. I think our fuel will actually do us fine. If we want to stock up more there, we can go to the Iron Republic, to Hell, and pick up more there. But I want to make sure that we don't get screwed by supply here by having them eaten through. Because that is something we cannot get in Hell. No, not necessarily get in Hell. If we're unlucky, we won't. If we are lucky, we could. But I kind of don't want to rely on luck. Fuel, though, those are easy enough to get there. So let's get over to Grand Geode. Go to Hell. The prices are really good there. Dang straight. I mean, have you ever been to Walmart? But nah. We'll go to the Iron Republic. We'll stop off if we end up needing fuel. I kind of doubt that we will. Actually, no. We do have to get back. So maybe we will pick up that. Hopefully, my calculations are correct. They will end up. Ooh, if we end up without sailors, if we end up not being able to crew the ship to full, and I think my calculations mean that we should be able to do that, but just in the event that we don't, it'd be good to have some extra fuel. Yeah, and we did get unlucky with the supplies and whatnot, or with being able to buy supplies. We'll just top off our fuel to as much as we can get, 9. We will save on that as much we can. So, to the Grand Geode. I hope this makes their ships stop attacking me. Not that we've actually come into conflict, now that I think about it, with any of their ships. We've kind of just avoided them. Maybe that, yeah, they're just putting up a really good war face. Maybe they don't attack us, and we just haven't noticed. We have made it here to Grand Geode. And we can now ask the Commodore for a defense against the sunlight for Aestival. He smiles warmly. Of course, he says. But we'll need our usual consideration to do the work. And it won't be easy. We'll need a Gantt source from near the Chalinet and a particular insight. A very, very particular insight. Alright. Here you go. The sequencers who serve the machine take charge of your supplies. Your crew go gaping and bewildered into the fractured light of the geode. Officers listen intently to your intelligence, and you whisper the dread surmise into the translucently perfect ear of the Commodore himself. He smells like spice and sunlight. 3 days and 3 nights later, a procession of Marines carries a cedar casket to your ship, decorated with gold leaf. You open it very cautiously. The skull, which once adorned the Eater of Names, now lies within, its forehead marked with a glyph of furious power. The shape of it chatters your teeth and vibrates your vision. This will drink the danger of the sunlight. Who knows what else it might do, but it will suffice. It will permit you to colonize Aestival. So we now have, well, menaces of yearning burning. Ah, here it is. We have Dawn's Law. Shine where thou wilt, and thou harm none. Can the Dawn Machine truly command sunlight? And would you want it to? Well, we've thrown our lot in with them now, so we are there, whether we wanted to or not. But it is time, firstly, to head up to Rack to go and top off our fuel and supplies here, because we are real low. But we'll start our first trip to Aestival here. Oh, no, we won't. We will deposit our heirlooms, our captivating treasures here. Deposit those first to give us a little bit more money when our next captain rolls around. Not that we will be at a particular lack of that stuff. We'll skip by the Iron Republic. We don't really need to do anything there. And that'll get our something awaits us back. We'll spend probably one last night with our family, though we really don't need to. We have our fear at quite the minimum. Our terror is basically non-existent. You know what? Let's turn our lights off, because we're going into a fog bank, so it won't matter anyway. 2, we've got plenty of fear to spare, so we don't need to waste the fuel on it. I will convert all... Yeah, I think all of my captivating treasures into heirlooms. And heck, might as well do the outlandish artifacts as well. Just because... might as well maximize heirlooms here. Then I might spend secrets. I don't know how many I want to store. If I have to store any, that is. I don't know if I'll need secrets to start a kingdom. I'd assumed that I kind of would. But that may be an incorrect assumption here. Ooh, we are being eaten out of house and home. Even by our 18 crew. Might be a good time to call the stream and do some research. Well, the issue is that I wouldn't want to start a stream next time by ending this current captain. I don't think there's really enough to do, enough left to do that I would want to basically stretch out the ending here to an entire stream. I think here, what did I say I was going to do? Go to the lodgings. Might as well get some more recent news. And check in with our study here. So, captivating treasure. There you go. Heirloom, total 10. And we can apparently only have 12. So that actually comes out perfectly. Once we turn in all these heirlooms and stuff, we will have exactly 12. There we go. Exactly 12, the cap onto our heirloom set for this house. We will go spend some time with our family here, because we might as well. And then, well, let's make some profit. I don't think this will be a short affair. You may be right. I'll at least get the process started. If it seems like there's more, you'll need 10 supplies and Dawn's Law to start the colony. Okay. Well, that's good to know. And 50 supplies and 10 crew to actually start it up. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is going to be a whole deal. All right. Tell you what, we will set it up for the next stream. So we've already sold off our all of our belongings here, our captivating treasures and outlandish artifacts. We have a complete set of heirlooms, which will give our next captain some cash to start off with, our scion. The fact that we have a scion means we get 2 legacies to go and set up. And we will see... We will see how we do for setting it up next time we come back. So next time, today is Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Next time we come back, Tuesday, we will set up our colony, and we will go and get all of these tick boxes checked off. Hopefully we didn't need anything that we'd have just immediately sold. Captivating treasures or anything like that. Hopefully we'll do all right there. But we will spend however long that stream is going to end up being. We were going to spend that setting up our new colony. And that'll be what we do next stream. Again, Tuesday on... next Tuesday, 3 PST. That is what we will do there. If you're not just interested in Sunless Sea content, though, we will be returning tomorrow for some SevTech Ages. Now, we should be getting towards some rocketry in SevTech Ages. It is a Minecraft mod focused on long-term industrialization. We've actually passed industrialization. We are on the post-industrial age. We are fitting to set off for the moon, and presumably stuff beyond that. That'll all be tomorrow at 3 PST. I hope to see you guys at one of those 2 times. If not, I hope you guys also deal with a strange cult to gain, to trade a fancy secret to gain a mysterious power that'll let you set up your own kingdom. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get out of here. It was a good stream. Cheers, everybody.